David Scott Kelly.
And a great Tuesday afternoon to you. Thanksgiving week. I went to the grocery store on Sunday, and it was absolutely slam-packed with people. I had to park all the way in the back, like where I shop. There's like a back row of parking that's kind of close to the outside streets. I had to park. I've never had to park way back there when I go to my grocery store. I had to park all the way at the back on Sunday just because the grocery store was just slammed with people getting their eats and everything. We did our Thanksgiving dinner on Sunday night because obviously there's Arizona Wildcats basketball coming up this Thursday. So my wife cooked. She called it a cooked a holiday meal. Cooked is her maiden name. Cooked a holiday meal. And we had it Sunday night, invited Mom over. It was delicious. I ate some more of it last night and went to sleep pretty quickly, as you can imagine. So I've already, what do they call it? What do they call it when you go to sleep right after eating? Turkey hangover or something like that? What's the term they use?
There are many terms. Food coma.
Food coma.
Is the
Thank
one,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, food coma. I've already had my food coma twice this week already, and we haven't even reached Thursday.
I think there's more to that story because, correct me if I'm wrong, but you did not sleep between Friday and Saturday?
That's true. Yeah, I'm still catching up on my sleep for sure. I went to bed relatively early last night as well. Yeah, after eating. So, yeah.
Yeah, turkey will do that to you.
It will do that to you for sure. So hopefully, and call in. Like to hear what your specialty is. What's your Thanksgiving thing that maybe is not traditional? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. We used to have, so back in we would have a big family thing in Cleveland. So when we left Cleveland in the early 70s, mid 70s. So I think 74, we moved to Los Angeles. And so what we would go back, for most of my childhood, we would go back to Cleveland for Thanksgiving every year. So I was always out of school on Wednesday because we would fly back on Wednesday and then be in Cleveland for Thanksgiving. And we had a big family, my mom's side of the family meal. And one of the things we always had was barbecue pork. Like they would make, and it wasn't like pulled pork or shredded pork. I mean, it was just like, you buy the big pot roast pork,
Right.
The rib roast, and then you roast that, and then you cut it up, and then you put the barbecue sauce on it, and then you bake it. And I just remember that being one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving in my family was that we had this barbecue pork dish every year. It was just awesome, absolutely awesome. So that's one of the things I cook. We had to. So when I worked at Channel 4, KVOA, we had, and you've probably seen it. They have this thing every year during the holidays thing called Anchored in Tradition, where the anchors all have to cook up something and fix something that is kind of unique to their family for the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. So one of the years, I ended up having to do like 3 of those Anchored in Traditions, 19, 20, 21. So maybe I did 4 of them. And so one of the things that I cooked up, I think the first year, was my family's barbecue pork. I made that. And so that was I think that was the only one we actually did in studio. Because the way they used to do it at Channel 4 was they did it in studio. So you'd make the dish at home. Then you'd like bring like a secondary like thing, and you'd kind of do this whole thing in studio where here we go, we'll season it up, you cut it up, and then all of a sudden you'd put it, and then you'd pull out the results. You had to do it actually
My favorite, like
twice.
The 80s cooking shows is they would always, baste the turkey and do all this stuff, and then they'd put it in the oven and pull out one that's already been in there for 6 hours.
Exactly.
Like it wasn't even a cut. They would just put in a raw turkey and pull out one that's fully cooked.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But then we got to COVID, and it was like you had to do it at home by yourself, and you had to take your camera, and like you're trying to you're trying to figure out different camera shots in your kitchen to try to, you're like there was a couple times I had my wife, I was like, okay, so I want you to shoot this or hold the camera while I'm talking about what I'm about to make. And so it got kind of by the time I did it, like the second or third time, I was like, I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But great, hey, it's their tradition over at KVOA, and all the anchors have to do it, and it's like Paul Sakala one time. I don't know what he made. It was like something real simple in a cup. It was like I was like, I got to come up with something that's going to take me 5 minutes.
Right.
And I can just put it in a cup, like he did. I made like my wife's family. They do those pizzelles. Have you ever had pizzelle?
I'm not sure.
It's kind of like a wafer type dish, and you put like kind of a white sprinkle on it kind of thing. I did the pizzelle one year. So yeah, but then you run out of stuff. You run out of stuff to come up with. Like, well, what am I going to make? That's one of the reasons why I was like, I don't know if I could sign another contract here, because then I got to come up with 2 more dishes to make.
Yeah. I mean, holiday cooking negotiations are tough when your contract comes up.
Exactly. It's like, I got to come up with 2 more dishes to make for your holiday thing you make me do every year. 520-848-1290. So, yeah, so call us up. Call, and I want to hear about your dish. What's the dish that you make that's unique to your family? It can be for Thanksgiving, preferably, but, Christmas, if there's a dish you make for Christmas, I want to hear about those as well. You can text us that information if you don't want to call. You can text us to 520-848-1290. You can also interact on any of our social media platforms. We are streaming video of the show, but not actual video of the show, if you know what I mean. We're actually working on the cameras. We had our crack staff in here today working on our cameras.
There were
and
hundreds
things.
of them in
I
here.
mean, they were they were like underneath the tables, and like, I'm like, what did we like? I thought there was people living underneath there for a minute, but we're still figuring it out. Still figuring out all these fancy cameras that we have here in studio. So hopefully we'll get that all up and running by maybe next week, but not quite yet ready to go. I think we can still see J-Dub over there. Can we? Yeah. Let me see if we can still see J-Dub. Yeah, we still got him over there. We got J-Dub working. We just don't have too many other people working at this particular time. So if you're watching on any of our many video streams, whether that's Facebook Live or YouTube or Twitch, you'll kind of just see a static shot for the next day or two.
Yeah, and if my camera's on, it's going to be looking at my chin as I'm looking up at this television watching this basketball game.
He's watching basketball over there because that's what he does. Okay, so we've got basketball going on right now. As a matter of fact, Arizona women's basketball is playing their first game over at the Acrisure Invitational in Palm Springs. This is the same venue where the Arizona men played last year against Michigan State, and it is a Big 12 SEC battle today between the Wildcats and Vanderbilt. And JW, you were telling me at last check it was not going very well.
Yeah, well, the Cats only scored 7 in the first quarter, DK. They were down 15-7. Not shooting great. 26% from the field right now, 5 for 19. Currently, in the second quarter, it is 20 for the Vanderbilt Commodores and 11 for your Arizona Wildcats.
All right, this is the Acrisure Holiday Invitational. It'll be a 2-day event for the Arizona women's basketball team. They're playing Vanderbilt right now. We'll do a listen in on that at some point, maybe in the second half. We'll let you listen in. It started at 2:30, so it'll be over by during our show. We may also hear some of the post-game comments of the head coach, Adia Barnes, as well, with Derek Palmer after the ball game. So we'll let you dive in on all of that as well. Keep you posted. Also, the men obviously are down in not Palm Springs. They are down in the Bahamas for the battle for Atlantis, and Tommy Lloyd, Caleb Love, and Trey Townsend spoke today, and that was interesting. We'll let you hear that. It got a little testy,
a little contentious
on some subjects there. Apparently, how can you go to the Bahamas and get testy about some stuff? But somebody pushed the wrong button today on Tommy Lloyd, so we'll let you hear that coming up. In fact, we'll let you hear that coming up here at about 3:20 or so. That'll be our first thing we do in our next segment, is we'll let you hear that press conference with Tommy Lloyd, Caleb Love. First time we've had a chance to hear from Caleb since his struggles of the first 2 major games against Wisconsin and against Duke, in which he has not shot the ball very well at all. So we'll get his feelings.
I got stats. You ready?
Yes, you always have numbers.
It's not even so much that he's not shooting well; it's the distribution, right? We talk about this all the time on the post game. We talked the last game after the Duke game about seeing the ball go through the hoop. Maybe get to the free throw line, seeing a mid range jumper. This season, DK, Mr. Caleb Love has taken 28 3-pointers and 4 free throws.
Wow.
And overall in his career, I did the math. He shoots about 1 free throw for every 2 3-pointers, so about 1 to 1.8. This year, it's 1 free throw for every 7 3-pointers that he takes. So that number has to come way down. You just need to put a little bit of pressure on the defense, get to the rim. We know Caleb can do that. Just maybe tweak the shot selection a little bit. 1 for 9 in that Duke game. Would like to see him get inside the line a little bit, do some damage there.
What did you think? I laid out that crazy theory yesterday. What did you think of that? That maybe maybe he's not. They're trying to evaluate. I think, and I don't know that this would ever happen in college basketball. That they would maybe say, let's take these early games and evaluate this team. We know what you can do. We know what you'll be able to do once Big 12 season gets going and all that. But we need you not to be the guy in these first few games.
I think it's definitely a part of it. I think another part of that, DK, is what scouts are telling him, right? So if his goal is to play at the next level, you really need to show whatever weakness is. You go through the NBA Combine type stuff, and you hear from scouts. Being able to play within a system with other great players and not calling your own number all the time has kind of been the bugaboo that's followed Caleb Love throughout his career. When it really breaks down, he knows he can get his. I mean, he's one of the best scorers in the country, period. End of story. He already knows he can get his own. I think a lot of scouts, so along that same type of logic, I think the coaches are encouraging Caleb Love to be more involved as a playmaker. And you might have seen that. What you said yesterday, if people missed out on that, was the theory that maybe they were asking him to take a little bit of back seat and see what some of the newer transfers, get them more involved in what the Arizona offense is and that sort of thing. I think it's similar to last year. You look at the transfers that came in last year, those first 5 games, DK, they weren't trying to, step on any toes, break it. They were more eggshell type of situation. I just think it's a lot of new guys trying to figure each other out and trying to get comfortable playing within that flow system together, which takes time. I'm not worried about Caleb long term. I just think that he needs to keep it in his mind that he can always get a better shot than a 22-footer over an outstretched defender's arms with time left on the shot clock. If your first 3 go down and you want a heat check, that's fine. But if you haven't made a 3-pointer, I think he's 4 for 28, something like that.
Yeah, I guess the problem though with my theory there is that the quote body language police have already come out after Caleb. Somebody posted something on one of the social media accounts about one of the, I guess he breaks down basketball, one of the kind of those national pundit scout type guys, and he just was ripping all over Caleb's body language, him not moving without the ball, and this whole thing in there. So if that is what they're asking him to do, then unfortunately there's going to be people out there that are going to view that differently than maybe what the coaching staff is trying to accomplish here.
I think there's a great analogy in football. In football, DK, the analogy is obvious. When you have T-Mac, right, then the defense is going to, because it's a known commodity, one of the best in the nation at what he does, all the scouts are going to be about that person. So, Caleb's seen a lot of blitzes, he's seen a lot of doubles, that kind of thing, which is natural. Obviously, the top scorers are going to get that. But the idea of you throw a bubble screen or something like that, and this great wide receiver is not involved in it, are they over there blocking like their life depends on it, right, to make sure that running back can get out in the open? Or are they just kind of nonchalant, hands in their pockets because the ball didn't come their way? And that whole attitude, I think the idea of being engaged and involved in the offense is just a matter of staying, cutting hard, screening hard. You do everything with purpose, regardless of whether or not you're the one taking the shot in that offensive possession. And that's what being a great teammate is, especially in a flow motion offense like Coach Lloyd runs.
Yeah, this guy's name is Christian Ojakijan or something of that nature. He's apparently covered Wake Forest basketball for 5 years, 2-time All-ACC voter, whatever that means. I have no idea. But
so he's got an agenda.
Apparently. I don't know. But I'll let if you haven't seen it, we'll get into later what he had to say. He's breaking down tape. He kind of like what I do. I break down tape after Arizona football games. So probably people think the same thing about me. But I'm not looking at people's body language. I'm really looking at play concepts and that kind of thing.
The thing is,
DK,
the whole thing. Across the entire ACC sphere, right, outside of North Carolina Tar Heels, is very popular for the past 5 years to talk about Caleb's body language. So a Wake Forest reporter falls in that category. I'm currently watching the number 2 ranked Connecticut Huskies playing the Colorado Buffaloes, and believe it or not, Colorado is right in this game. It's tied with about 8 minutes to go. Real quick before we go to break, we got number 1 Kansas and number 11 Duke tonight.
Yes.
We got number 4 Auburn and number 12 UNC and number 6 Houston versus number 9 Alabama. DK, all those games are today. They call it Feast Week. Some of the best non-conference matchups always take place this week, whether they're in various tournaments around the world or, just a neutral court like the Kentucky game tonight, Kentucky Duke, or Kansas, excuse me. So really looking forward to all these basketball games going on this week.
I missed my email, but I believe was Cooper Flagg. Was he Big 12 Player of the Week this week? I thought I saw something possibly that somebody mentioned. He got something potentially from last week. I don't know if he was Big 12 Player of the Week or maybe Freshman of the Week or something like that. We'll have to look that up. But
the first of many.
Yeah, exactly. The first of I'm sorry, ACC. ACC, not Big 12, but ACC Player or Freshman of the Week or whatever. All right. Okay, so we'll hear from the guys down in the Bahamas coming up. Things got a little contentious during this press conference, so stay tuned. We'll have it for you. DK on the sports tip. Dragon Ball still in for cricket all week. Cricket's taking an extended Thanksgiving vacation. I hope she's somewhere having fun, probably watching, what's that, Below the Deck or something of that nature that she likes to do. We'll hear from Dragon Ball every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. We have a disabled vehicle over on I-10 Frontage Road westbound. This is near Ruthroff, so if you're traveling down the frontage road right now of I-10 westbound, you may see some slowing there. Also a reminder, Silbell Road Bridge still closed till January 2025 at the Blanco Wash for the bridge improvements. For your weather right now, currently at 78 with a lot of cloud cover, but we will be getting down into the 60s around 7 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Gordita Supreme is so back at Taco Bell in the $7 Lux Cravings Box, alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stack taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last, drinks exclude freezes, tax extra.
Join David Kelly for Bear Down Fridays this Friday at Illegal Pete's on University from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. as we get ready for the Wildcats to take on ASU this Saturday at Arizona Stadium. Sponsored by Corona for fans of the fine life, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com. JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Does anyone feel like life is busier than ever, especially with the holidays? I'm a planner and try to think of it all. But what about the unexpected? Now I've got that covered. My husband and I finally got life insurance with SelectQuote, and I couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. This holiday season, I feel a little lighter, knowing my family is protected and ready for whatever the new year throws our way.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-982-3377. That's 1-800-982-3377. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-982-3377. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
a lot of company,
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you've
got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
So, you have approval to order more.
Oh, it's just me, guys. Why are you dressed like that? It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations. Since when are polar bears so short?
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year? Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome. I thought Wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaska vacations.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290 for all the latest news on the Arizona Wildcats, including exclusive original content and interviews. This is the exclusive home of Arizona football. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Little bro Jim Harbaugh is now 0-3 against big bro John Harbaugh. And credit to the MVP and the king, Derrick Henry, and the rest of those dudes for getting on that long flight across the country and giving big bro another dub over little bro. And let me tell you about big bro. He deserves credit for his big brass set because he changed the momentum of that entire game with that wild decision to go for it on 4th down from his own 16 in the first half. That wild, bordering on insane decision, 4th and 1 from his own 16, coming out of a 2-minute warning in the second quarter. Who does that? And then not to give it to the two-time MVP or the future Hall of Fame running back, but a direct snap to the tight end? My man, brassest thing I've seen all year long, and a great win for the Ravens on the road. Football season is heating up, and PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action while watching football. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your money. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, and get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on PrizePicks to get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. PrizePicks, run your game. Must be present in certain states where it's lawful to wager. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. All right, we want to let you hear from the Arizona men's basketball team down in the Bahamas, Atlantis. The battle for Atlantis is the name of the tournament. Tommy Lloyd, Caleb Love, and Trey Townsend spoke earlier to members of the media.
Yeah, sure. No, hey, we're excited to be here. We can't wait to get out and play. Obviously, we've been going through it a little bit these last couple of weeks, but I think I'm at a point right now where I'm grateful for where we're at and grateful for the opportunity we have in front of us and just looking for an opportunity to respond, with the risk that we know that, the response might not be the one that you want. And, we're a program that has a lot of pride. We pride ourselves on, working on our culture every day. So this is a great challenge for us right now.
Questions? Go ahead. Bruce?
Yeah, Tommy, and you guys, just the general thoughts on facing Davidson, what you've found out.
Well, Davidson, the McKillop clan's done an amazing job running that program. A little known fact is that my son took an unofficial visit there out of high school. And, and so, I've known their coaches for a long time and, Bob and I, have always had a, shared a love of international basketball and recruiting internationally. So our paths have crossed, a few times over the years, and I just have the utmost respect for them and for how they do things. And, that they're a program that's really done a great job, sticking to their core values and their identity. And maybe, at times where, maybe people thought they could commercialize things a little bit. It's been really cool that they haven't. I mean, Davidson today is, the Davidson, when Steph Curry was there, and which is just remarkable. And so ton of respect for them. We know the challenge we're up against tomorrow. I mean, I've played against some Davidson teams over the years and, and I know this, that there's more, than meets the eye. And so our guys need to come out and respect that and understand that it's a program that has deeply ingrained values, that they can call on in big moments. And it's definitely a game that, playing Davidson tests your character. And that's nothing, but respect for them when I say that.
Tommy, when that bracket came out, I know you're one game at a time, but I couldn't help but notice Umar was a possibility, and then Mark and the Zags after that. How do you look at that thing?
Well, we tried getting out of the tournament numerous times. We just couldn't get out. No, hey, we know that, our paths are going to cross eventually. And, I don't think it's something that we're, anybody necessarily wants to play to get something up on the other guy. It's nothing like that. But when you have two great programs, eventually they're going to cross paths. And so, obviously, there's, no potential matchup with the Zags until the third day. So, I'm not even there yet. So I might give you a different answer if we end up playing. The Umar situation is, it's awesome. There's so many things have changed in college basketball recently. That just with transferring and the COVID eligibility, that it's just, some players have gotten long in the tooth, and Umar's one of them. And, for him to, come with us down to Arizona when we first started and, when he was trying to rebuild his career and help that team 3 years in a row the way he did. He was a two-time all-conference player, which was awesome, was a lot. And, Umar and I have a special relationship, and we always will. I think we've both given each other a little space, with him on his journey and me, with this new team. And, but Umar and I, we met and we talked about, what was going to happen. And, he said it to me. He said, it's not fair, that a guy like me gets 6 years in college and a guy like Mo Crevis gets 4. And, so obviously I want to take advantage of that, but I don't want to be in Mo's way either, and so we kind of settled in on that. It was a great grounds, and, he obviously had some great opportunities with other programs, and he took full advantage of them. And I was 100% supportive of him, and I'm 100% proud of him as a man that he was able to see a good player underneath him who he thought deserved a chance to take the next step in a great program. So that's how it happened. There was nothing more to it. I'm rooting for Big O every day. I saw that he switched his free throw to left hand, and I'm like, maybe I was missing something the last few years, but I'm excited for him and his journey, and it looks like he's off to a good start.
Sorry, Coach. Zach Osborne from the Indianapolis Star. I cover IU. I was going to kind of follow up on that and just ask you, forgive me, it's kind of open-ended, but your journey with Umar and how you've seen him embrace, being somebody who wanted the responsibility of being a big player for a major program, wanted to be on those stages, wanted to be on the floor in big moments for a really good team. Obviously, Indiana expecting a lot of that from him this season. Just how did he maybe kind of come to embrace wanting to be a guy that was in those moments and on those stages?
Well, he's already been that guy. He did it at a program like Arizona for the last 3 years. And he did it 2 years as a starter. I mean, so to me, like, I just think that's who he is. I don't think he was looking for a bigger stage. I mean, obviously in Indianapolis, Indiana's a bigger stage than Arizona. So to you guys, it may be like that, but in Arizona, we got a pretty big stage too. So I don't see anything like that.
Similar stages, the idea of Arizona.
Okay, now we're similar stages. That's fine. Okay, listen, he's an awesome kid, and there was literally nothing personal. He saw somebody behind him that he didn't want to go because he knew. Like, let's talk reality here. If Umar came back, Mo Kribis might not be at Arizona now, and Umar didn't want to put him in a position where he had to transfer. So for a dude to do that for a younger guy, that tells you what kind of guy you're dealing with. He's an effing stud. So that's all I got to say about that. I mean, I don't know what else great I can say about it. I love that kid.
Questions for Trey or Caleb as well?
Yeah, actually, Trey and Caleb, I was going to ask you both just how you guys feel coming back. 2 tough losses and then coming into this kind of an opportunity here at 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, every single time we get to, lace up the shoes and play a basketball game is a new opportunity and an opportunity for us to prove ourselves. Obviously, we've had a couple of days off, but a couple of great days to really hone in, as Coach was saying, and find our identities. What better way to do it than, play 3 great teams in 3 days in a row. This will test us more than a lot of challenges throughout the year, but having an opportunity like this early on, I know we're all excited for it. I know a lot of guys are just ready to show what they can do, but also show, what this team is capable of. And, I can't speak for Caleb, but I'm just, crazy excited to get out there again.
Yeah, same. We playing basketball in the Bahamas. I'm grateful for that. I know we are grateful to, be here, and, step on the floor and, kind of redeem ourselves. And, we bringing our hard hats and, coming with the right mindset, the right mental state of mind. And, we're ready to go out there and play.
Trey or Caleb too. And you guys, I guess you had a few hours free yesterday, or maybe 45 minutes. I don't know how much, but did you have any chance to go to the beach or slides or any of that kind of stuff around here?
Well, he's my roommate, and we both asleep while everybody else was out there on the water slides.
You guys didn't do the slide.
Nah,
We didn't. No,
we was asleep.
I failed you as a coach.
All right, that is the press conference today. We'll come back to that. There's a little bit more. But, yeah, Tommy Lloyd not taking too kindly to the question about the comparison about the Indiana might be a bigger platform for Umar Ballo over Arizona.
I don't think the reporter meant anything like that. I just think he was kind of stumbling over the question a little bit. And basically what he said was, now that Umar Ballo has embraced playing for a major program, if he would have qualified as saying another major program or something like that, it's just in the form of the questioning. If you go back and listen to it, it kind of makes it sound like the reason he left Arizona is he wanted a bigger stage. And Tommy did not take too kindly to that.
Not at all. All right. It is Territorial Cup week, the 98th playing of a football game between Arizona and Arizona State, the battle for the territory. And we are going to talk to our friend Lena Washington up at 12 News. She is an ASU grad. She covers both the Sun Devils and all of the other teams. We'll get into some things with her about the Cardinals, and the Suns are back on the floor tonight. Expected to have Bradley Beal as well as Kevin Durant. Things have not gone well since Kevin Durant exited the floor.
1-6.
1-6 indeed, with 5 straight losses. Not what you would like. There's been talks about trading people and maybe trying to go in a different direction. We'll get Lena's thoughts on all of that, as well as where this team was in terms of Arizona State in July versus where they are now. It's DK on the Sports Tip, and Dragon Ball's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Incident with unknown injuries reported at Fulling Wells and Wetmore, slowing down in all directions as you approach the intersection. And out in Vale, we have an accident with possible injuries. Be aware of this as Marianne Cleveland Way is backing up in both directions as it approaches Marianne Cleveland Way and Atterbury Washes intersection there. For your weather, currently at 78 degrees, getting set to go ahead and cool down here until the 60s once we get to 7 o'clock. I'm Dragonball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 12/28. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
You know the joke, why is Christmas like your job? You do all the work and the fat guy with the suit gets all the credit. We understand. That's why you might need a new sleigh. And you can do it right now during the Red Tag Sale.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
When you donate a toy,
we will donate a toy. It's our annual gift back to our community.
We're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate,
we'll donate another.
For every dollar you donate,
we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again.
Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys,
putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun,
but we're serious about helping kids. So serious,
we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for every one you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar.
Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
Oh, we can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Does Umar Ballo's decision to play for the Indiana Hoosiers change your feeling about his legacy as an Arizona Wildcats player?
Umar Ballo was about as Wildcat as it gets. Look at the smile on his face when he talks about what the McHale crowd means to him. That's real. How do you be a fan, David? That's the conversation we're having. You want to open that Pandora's box. What does it mean to be a fan, and how do you fan? Well, that's really up to you.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Make Dave & Buster's a part of your weekly rituals. Military Monday, get extra gameplay on your card. Tuesday night is Trivia Night with great prizes. Thursday is extra credit with student discounts on gameplay after 9 p.m. Stop in Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials. Want more? Rewards members will get an extra 100 chips with the purchase of 100 chips and Sunday sips for hospitality workers. Come out to Dave & Buster's, the best place outside of the stadium to see the games this football season. Monday and Thursday, get all-you-can-eat wings with game card for $19.99. Sunday, get in on the chance to win a big game watch party at Dave & Buster's in front of the big screen, plus other big prizes and weekly winners. Only at Dave & Buster's. Make Dave & Buster's your place to watch the games.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Dave & Buster's Tucson. You can get a $25 Power Play card and a $25 gift card for just $25. That's a $50 value. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute, sponsored by Wendy's. The iconic Frosty with a caramel twist. It's got to be Wendy's. Terms apply, naturally flavored. A Nuggets team that had the Joker, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and all of their big guns not named Aaron Gordon on the hardwood. And what happened? The Knicks absolutely boat raced them. 145-118, a 27-point beatdown. I'm Jim Rome.
This Thanksgiving, Paramount Plus serves up a must-see NFL on CBS divisional matchup when Jared Goff and the high-flying Detroit Lions host top draft pick Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. It all kicks off Thursday at 12:30 Eastern with the NFL on CBS, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's give you an update on what's happening with the Arizona women's basketball team at the Acrisure Holiday Invitation over in Palm Springs. They've just started the third quarter of that game, and right now Arizona trailing by 17 points to Vanderbilt and turning the ball over as they have been all season. Already 16 turnovers for the Arizona Wildcats, coming off their win over Grambling on Saturday night when they turned it over 24 times. So got to take better care of the basketball. Let's talk some Territorial Cup game this Saturday here in Tucson, Arizona, and Arizona State. Pleased to be joined by our friend Lena Washington from 12 News Sports up in Phoenix. Lena, we were in Las Vegas in July when the ASU Sun Devils were picked to finish 16th in this league, and now they have a chance to finish number 1 in this league. How did this all happen?
Right. I mean, both programs really kind of on opposite sides of the spectrums from when they started the year, right? Arizona ranked and falling below expectations this year. Arizona State not really having a lot of expectations, and now they have a chance to maybe punch their ticket to the college football playoff. But I think just the belief in Kenny Dillingham and his staff, Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator, getting Sam Levitt to be confident in this offense in his first year here in this system. And, of course, Cam Scadaboo, I mean, they're already probably planning on building a statue for that young man after what he's done this year in particular. Just the workhorse, the heart and soul of this team, and what this group collectively has been able to do with so many transfers. There are, I think, 2 or 3 door-to-door Devils is what we call them, players who have stayed for 4 years of eligibility. You can count them on one hand, if that. And for this staff to bring this group together and have them fight through adversity the way they have has been super impressive. And I think that all just kind of gets thrown out the window when you go into a rivalry game, right? We know that this happened 20 years ago. We talked about that 2004 season in the sense of ASU going undefeated at home for the first time since then. Well, that was the year they came in ranked into Arizona and lost in that game. So we are seeing parallel storylines. We'll see if this year one of those veers to a college football playoff invitation perhaps for the Sun Devils with Kenny Dillingham in his second year as head coach. And I think what's really special about this particular matchup is both of these coaches know this game, what it means, what both programs are fighting for on a deeper level. So it means so much more to them, and it means so much more to the community around them.
Were you at the game, the BYU game this past Saturday? And what was that? What was that atmosphere like?
I was on the field twice with the students. Yes.
What was the atmosphere just in the building for that senior day, and obviously with everything that was on the line and a ranked BYU team coming in?
Man, it was electric. I mean, we know that Phoenix and Arizona has a large Mormon population and community, particularly in the East Valley here in the Phoenix suburbs. So BYU fans packed that section on the northeast corner of the stadium an hour before kickoff.
Wow.
And then there was a lot of blue throughout the stadium from top to bottom. You could spin your head around outside of the student section and the band. There were speckles of blue, even though there was a ton of gold in the stands. It was rocking. It was so loud. I took a video from the sidelines, and I'm playing it back, and you can barely make out the noise because it's so overmodulated. It's so loud. But it was just an incredible signature win for Kenny Dillingham in his tenure as a head coach here. The way that ASU was able to close this game out in games throughout the season with turnovers to put their opponents in the corner and really knock them down on the mat in the fourth quarter, that was an electric moment. I don't think anybody who was in that building will forget. And I could see from the family section, folks starting to make their way down towards the bottom of the field, and it was chaos. We didn't really know what was going on. I was not near Kenny during his conversation with the officials about how much time was left on the clock, but to hear the announcement over the PA system about 5 minutes after folks were already on the field, and then the time it took to get everybody back behind the yellow dotted lines on the sidelines, and then to have the defense, come up with what needs to be improved, admittedly, by Kenny Dillingham, but to bat the ball down or at least stop the receiver short of the goal line there to avoid what ASU fans have been bracing for, which was an ultimate collapse, right? We are conditioned here in Tempe. If you've been an Arizona State student like myself and you've gone to games or you've covered games or you've watched this program, there's just a brace for impact mentality when this team is successful and reaches levels that they hadn't been expected to meet, and then they fall short of meeting the moment when the stakes are high. I mean, 2 years ago, I believe, when they went up to BYU off of that UCLA win, they did not show up in that game. And so it was really impressive to see this group with everything on the line, with the history that this program has and where this program was even a calendar year ago, to have that atmosphere on senior day for guys like Trenton Bourget, right? Tucson product, Marana High School product, coming up here and really becoming a Sun Devil for life and solidifying him as what fans are calling a legend as an ASU football player, a Pat Tillman Leadership Council member, went from a walk-on to a starter to a backup to just the ultimate pro and teammate for this program. To have him celebrated with a win with a sold-out crowd was remarkably special. And then you have Cam Scattaboo and Caleb McCullough and all the other seniors who were honored as well. DeCarlos Brooks, another running back from the Valley area. So that was really special. But, man, that was my first time getting to experience what it's like to rush a court or a field as an ASU alum. I graduated in 2012, so we went, 2-2 in the Territorial Cup in my experience there, but it was remarkable. But it's going to be a hostile environment down there at Arizona Stadium. I'm not sure they are going to get the same welcome as maybe BYU's fans and team and visitors got when they came to Tempe, right? So I'm sure the history and what's on the line has been clearly expressed to Kenny Dillingham's team and his staff, and we just will see how this all shakes out on Saturday, because really anything can happen.
Pleased to be joined by Lena Washington. She is a sports anchor reporter up at 12 News NBC in the Phoenix Valley. Lena, we've heard a lot, and Kenny has talked a lot about just this renewed commitment that President Crow and the new athletic director Graham Rossini are making to athletics. So what can you tell us about some of the elements of what that's going to be as they try to maybe finally capture the ambiance that a lot of people have said for years that this always had the makings of being a great football program, but could never maybe get it to that level of consistency year in and year out?
Sure. I think that's a great question, and it really remains to be seen, right? We're seeing the results, which generates excitement, which generates season ticket sales. Activate the Valley is the motto for Kenny Dillingham, I would say, just based on all of the fans who are on the field. In that way, the Valley is activated, but how is it activated in terms of NIL support, community support? And you mentioned Michael Crow, but I would say that the conversation around even the Big 12 transition and Ray Anderson's departure and the Herm Edwards debacle, I think ASU fans felt that he was a bit out of touch with how important Sun Devil athletics, particularly the football program, is to the culture of the university as a whole. It is an academic institution. We understand that. But football and athletics and pride in that element is so important to the community support and buy-in. And so you have Graham Rossini stepping in, an alum, someone who knows this area, this community very well, and he is engaged. He has been engaged since day one. He actually replies and engages with fans. He's at the games. He was at the Pac-12 tournament upon being announced as the athletic director. So he has been nonstop trying to elevate this program as a whole, as an athletics program, right? But it starts with football. And I think we've seen just the incremental steps to what it could be. But now it's about, like you mentioned, finding that consistency. Are we able to keep these young men who might have other opportunities to play somewhere else where they might have a stronger NIL deal? I think it gets into that conversation in a deeper way with all of the elements of that landscape that are changing and moving rapidly, right? But I think right now this moment is something that they, as a collective, need to harness and build upon to create a foundation of success for this program. This means so much to Kenny Dillingham, being a Chaparral High School product, came up through ASU in the program. He brought his former coach in high school on staff with him. He has local high school coaches and alums on his staff. So this means so much to them on a deeper level that their passion will be hopefully felt by the decision makers at a higher level and widely by the community to back this program, back this team with season tickets, with NIL deals, with businesses partnering with these student athletes to make this a competitive program relative to the rest of the country and how rapidly things are moving in the NIL era.
Well, like Kenny said, get the quarterback a condo, get him a house, get whatever we got to get him to stay here, right?
From Jones Ford Verde Valley, we've got Tim Hovick from Santan Ford giving out electric vehicles. I mean, you've got Scadaboo's got his own burrito and burgers. Wow. Sam's got his own meal at cold beer and cheeseburgers. So, we spent a day with O-lineman Ben Coleman, who just announced that he's returning to ASU at an IV shop in Scottsdale, and then a local restaurant here. So they're really out here working and trying to represent the program and represent themselves as business people in this era as well. But yes, I think after Sam Levitt's season in Tempe, I'm sure the offers I would imagine for partnerships moving forward will be rolling in at a rapid pace.
All right. Well, just for the record, the Scadaboo burger is not on the menu at the Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers here in Tucson, the one that just opened up a little over a year ago. Real quick, Lena, a couple more questions. I want to get one thing on the Suns and one thing on the Cardinals. Obviously, Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant back tonight. Not a moment too soon, but I'm a little concerned about this whole notion of giving Kevin Durant a lot of money at 36 years old. Is there a feeling that people like we want to throw $200 million or whatever at a guy that's on the way to being 40 years old?
You know, what I'm confused about is the conversation about Kevin Durant's decline. I understand Father Time is undefeated, but he played the most minutes of the big three last season and this season. He's played at the leading scorer for the Suns so far this season before his injury. He was arguably the most consistent of the big three last season with between injuries and whatnot and just overall performance. So, yes, I think he's worth every penny. He's Kevin Durant. But that's just my personal opinion. We can argue about it, and it's not my money, it's Matt Ishbia's, so whatever he wants to do with it, as long as it leads to a potential championship run for the Suns, I'm all for it.
All right, again, obviously the Cardinals have had a nice surge. Disappointing loss on Sunday in Seattle after winning 4 in a row. The feeling I get is maybe this is still a year away. This is Kyler's first full season in the Jonathan Gannon system. You finally got the wide receiver to go with him, and there's been some growing pains there. But I just don't get the sense that this team is quite ready yet to make that move to being a full-scale competitive playoff team.
Well, this during our preseason special, I actually circled this Seahawks game as the one that I was most concerned about because historically the Cardinals do not perform well in the game immediately following their bye. Coming into this season, they were 1-5 since 2017, so now they're 1-6 out of their bye since 2017, and they haven't beaten the Seahawks since 2021 when they went on that incredible 6-0 start, MVP conversation for Kyler, which ultimately resulted in the butt whooping by the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. So I think that these next 2 weeks will really be definitive for this team. What they were able to do in the last stretch before the bye was very impressive. I've heard that this team is not flinching. There's belief in Jonathan Gannon, his system. The players have bought in. They repeat everything that he says. They've got it down to a science. So perhaps they're 1 year away, but I also think they're on the verge right now. So if they are able to somehow beat the Vikings on Sunday, which I will be at that game, I'm very concerned about the fact that it's about to be 20 or lower in Minneapolis. As a desert flower myself, I am rummaging through my one good set of winter clothes and hand warmers and such. But if they can't beat the Seahawks at home in terms of the NFC West race, that's going to be a real tough blow if they're unable to get that one at home. So I think Kyler has been performing pretty consistently considering he's a year since his return. And it's just trying to find, again, consistency with the team. This game in Seattle was pretty much like a rinse and repeat of the Green Bay Packers game as well, just kind of wet and sad, and hopefully they're able to bounce back in the way that they were after that game this week in Minnesota.
Yeah, I see how Cameron Cox is. He gets to go to Minnesota when it's warm and in the summertime for training camp, but he sends you there in November when it's cold and 20 degrees.
Right. How did I get that assignment?
Lena, so I guess we're disappointed we won't see you down here this Saturday for the big game, but enjoy the trip up to Minnesota. We'll follow your coverage, and we look forward to having you on again down the line to talk some more action of what's happening with the sports teams up in the Valley.
Absolutely. I will be watching from my phone wherever I'm at. I'm actually I have a friend who went to the U of A who lives in Minneapolis, so we'll probably have our own little watch party up there, a mini territorial cup for the local girls from Tempe.
There you go. Lena, always appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Have a good one.
You too. Lena Washington. Check her out. 12 News Sports. You can actually watch them down here on Fox 11 at 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, I believe, maybe even on Saturdays and Sundays as well. I know for Monday and Friday for sure, but you can see all the fine reports they do on 12 News on Fox 11 here in the Tucson market.
Real quick, DK, before we go to break, some breaking news. While you guys were in the interview, the Big 12's very own Colorado Buffaloes have handed the Yukon Huskies their second consecutive defeat. They won the game 73-72 just now.
Oh boy!
Tad Boyle and his boys got a big win over the Huskies.
Maybe we should get the link to the post game because it might not be a happy one for one Mr. Dan Hurley.
I've been glancing up and watching periodically, but looking at the box score really quick, he did complain quite excessively about the officiating, DK. 22 foul calls against Yukon, 14 against the Colorado Buffaloes. So I don't know if it was the same crew. They are in a tournament, so I'm sure there aren't too many referees out there. But yeah, Yukon loses their second game in a row.
All right, we'll hear some more from Atlantis. We'll get you the rest of that press conference. Also update you on what's going on with Arizona women's basketball. Second half now in Palm Springs. DK on the sports tip. We're with you till 6 o'clock here. 520-848-1290. Dragon Ball also will be with us in the 4 o'clock hour. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an accident at North Campbell Avenue and East Hendrick Drive. This is just south of the Campbell and Fort Lowell intersection, so you're going to see some slowing on Campbell at that spot. Also, the on-ramps and off-ramps at westbound I-10 at Sunset are still closed for the I-10 Ina Ruthroff Improvement Project. For your weather, we're starting to get ready to hit the 77-degree mark as we get to the 60s here later on tonight. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Ready Whip. Topping off a dessert or swirling it onto hot cocoa, Ready Whip is here to whip up some holiday cheer. Ready Whip is made with real cream, so pick up a can or two. Ready Whip.
Join David Kelly for Bear Down Fridays this Friday at Illegal Pete's on University from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. as we get ready for the Wildcats to take on ASU this Saturday at Arizona Stadium. Sponsored by Corona for fans of the fine life, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Tune in to DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290 Thursday afternoons to compete in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge, where you can win money by placing a bet on the right team this football season. More info at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
2025 is bringing the biggest change to air conditioning in decades. New EPA regulations mean AC costs could rise by up to 25%. If you've been thinking about replacing your old AC, now's the time. Rightway is offering zero interest financing and a free furnace when you replace your AC this month. Don't wait till next year when prices go up. Call Rightway today for your free no obligation estimate. Call 520-549-2697.
My helmet saved me after they crashed into my motorcycle, but I still couldn't ride for weeks. The insurance company tried hammering me into a quick settlement. No way! I gave them the bird, the eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. Nobody knows Arizona like the eagle. Phoenix to Tucson, Flagstaff to Havasu, and every bit of blacktop in between. Wherever you go, the eagle is there. So if you've been injured, don't wait. Give the insurance company the bird.
Give him the bird. Call the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. 1-800-THE-EAGLE. Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows. And save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC+. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's PHILO.tv.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The one and only home of Arizona basketball. Pre- and post-game coverage, play-by-play, and live press conferences. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 of the program. It is DK on the Sports Tip on this Tuesday as we head into the Thanksgiving holiday. Most will have the day off tomorrow. We don't have the day off. It's a day off for our station tomorrow. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't have any. We're not giving away any Territorial Cup tickets today or yesterday because the office is actually closed tomorrow. So you wouldn't be able to come get them. But we will have some tickets to give away to you on game day on the U of A Mall. So just keep that in mind. If you need tickets to see the game on Saturday, come on down to the U of A Mall. We'll have tickets down there on game day. Bring your thinking cap because those tickets are not going to just end up in your hands without a chance for you to show how much you know about Arizona.
I got a crib
football.
sheet for the listeners.
Yeah.
Just study Territorial Cup stuff.
Right.
DK's almost guaranteed to ask you Territorial
it'll be
stuff.
All Territorial Cup questions.
You know.
For sure. And not easy ones, to say the least. All right, let's head back down to Atlantis. Want to hear some more from Tommy Lloyd, Caleb Love, and Trey Townsend, who spoke earlier ahead of tomorrow's game against Davidson.
For Tommy, the changing landscape of college with transferring and NILs, as it relates to tournaments. I think there's one in Vegas. I don't know if it's this week but it's an NIL-driven deal. Do you see more of those coming in the future, and does it put any of the other tournaments at risk?
Jim, I wish I had a crystal ball. I mean, like it's so many changes, and it's hard to understand what's right and what's wrong. I'm glad it's going in the direction where the players are part of it now. But it's just there's so many people grabbing at so many things, and you know what I want to do? I want to play basketball tomorrow. I just want to play basketball tomorrow. I want to be in a tournament. I know one team's going to win a championship this week, and I want to compete for that. Anything more than that is it's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse, So I mean, I know a little bit these tournaments you're talking about. Of course, we had phone calls. I just don't know what's real or not real. That's where I'm at. So, Well, I mean, yeah, listen, I think that what we're finding is what's hard is, just these tournaments, you play 3 games in 3 days. It takes a lot out of your team, and, what the challenging thing is the other time of year you do that is when the conference tournament, and so you have these 2 times of the years and you put a lot of stress on your team and, ultimately, the ultimate ways I think you're going to probably be judged is your regular season, conference stuff, in the NCAA tournament, and then the conference tournament too is a big deal. But like, it just puts a lot of stress on your team, you know what I mean, and preparing them. But hey, it is what it is, and we've been doing it for a lot of years. And so I am interested to see if some small changes start taking place in the next couple of years with these, MTE tournaments.
Trey, you played in that. I understand you played in that Bahamar tournament down there, or whatever it is. Was that like a ballroom deal? And do you think it's comparable to here? And was there any adjustment for you playing?
Yeah, so when I had played in that 2 years ago with Oakland, I was under the assumption it was sort of just like the mid-major kind of tournament of this one. And then this year, there's other power conference teams there, and the ballroom looked kind of sort of like the one here at Atlantis. But when I was there, it wasn't the crazy, stadium stands in the ballroom. It wasn't a ballroom, but it was much smaller bleachers and things of that, less people there watching in person. But it was definitely a cool experience. It was another opportunity to bond with your teammates and play 3 games in 3 days, but definitely a smaller scale than what the Atlantis was 2 years ago, considering the teams there. But now it looked like, there's other power conference teams there as well. So.
Well, and also and Tommy too, like, I think I read something that's the ceiling is 26 feet here. I don't know if that's right, but
here we go.
Does it, how do you feel that?
I haven't asked for the schematics of the arena yet.
I'm just wondering if that, is that anything you coach to?
And we played here a couple times. The first time you walk in, you're like, oh, that's different. And then the moment the ball goes up or the moment you start practice, honestly, you don't even notice. So, yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying, because it feels like it's a little more compressed, but I haven't noticed one difference. So, yeah.
And Caleb, just your thoughts on that too, like, especially being the guy who can shoot from range as well as, all over, but you figure, I think, is this your first time in a ballroom?
Yeah, this will be my first time, but we practiced yesterday and, it felt great. Just playing and on the floor and, getting shots up, and I didn't see a problem with it at all.
Is there any questions from Zoom? A couple Zoom people joining. Doesn't appear, says Bruce. Go ahead.
And Tommy, just on a different note, how do you manage? Do you have to manage minutes differently, especially with Jaden? You've played him a lot at the point with 3 games, 3 days. How do you look at it?
Hey, I just want to find a way to get a W the first night. I'll figure out how we manage it once the game starts, and depending on how it's going. What I mean? Like, we're literally going to go media timeout to media timeout.
Last one, yeah. Well, I was just you've been pretty. I was talking about Caleb. You've been pretty supportive of him. Obviously, it's been a little uncharacteristic him lately. Your thoughts? I was going to ask both of you guys how, and maybe does this maybe help change environment to?
I love Caleb. Caleb's teammates love Caleb, and I'm not worried. Caleb's going to come out and he could play out of his mind the next 3 days. If he doesn't play out of his mind the next few days, we're going to keep going forward. So like, there's no concern on my end. If Caleb playing well is, what's going to stand between us and being a good team, I feel pretty good that ultimately he's going to play great. So I like that security of that feeling.
No, I just think, my teammates, my coaches support me each and every day. And, that never wavered. Good game, bad shot, good shot, turnover, assist. So I just, go out there and I'm going to, play with confidence, the utmost confidence, and, not kind of put any pressure on myself to, make plays. Just go out there and hoop and have fun.
All right, that is the Arizona men's basketball team down in the Bahamas. Tommy Lloyd, Caleb Love, and Trey Townsend talking about the upcoming battle for Atlantis. It starts tomorrow against Davidson. Tip-off at 5:30 here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Our coverage begins at 2 o'clock with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Pleased to be joined by the third member of our program, Dragon Ball in for Cricket on traffic, and he arrives once again without my beer.
Hey, Total Wine told me that's not there. I gotta potentially look to try and order it online.
All right.
I got the one
Rocco
guy
and Louie on speed dial, but I'm not gonna make that call just yet. I'm gonna give you one more chance to bring me my beer.
I got to go out to the
Don't
Park
make me
Place
have
one
to
to
hang
make
you
sure.
over the. Don't make me have to hang you over the Rattlesnake Bridge like Nino did that guy in New Jack City.
Oh, no. Are we going to do the Vanilla Ice shakedown right now? Oh, man.
See ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya.
Don't worry. I'm going to check the Park Place Mall out
What
first.
kind of beer was it again?
Yingling.
Yingling. It's his beer. It's their beer. Them Yinzer's beer. I'm gonna drink their beer.
Hey, the Yinzer's
I'm gonna
beer is
I'm gonna
icy
kick their
light.
butt and drink their beer. That's how we do it in Cleveland.
Hey,
we
the
gonna
Yinzer-
kick your butt and drink your beer.
The Yinzer beer is icy light. That's the one for the
Icy
Yinzers.
light. Well, bring me icy light then. I don't care what it is. It can be Yingling, icy light, whatever. Rolling Rock. Just bring me something.
I'll get it to you.
Bring me something.
I'm gonna check Park Place, the Park Place wine and things, and try to see if they got it there. But the one that's right here by the station, they don't have it there. So
Okay.
if not, I'll try to order it and get it to you before the holidays.
All right. What did you watch the Duke game over the weekend?
I did not.
No, you didn't get. Okay, didn't get a chance to see it. Early thoughts on the Territorial Cup football game?
I think that this is going to be another one of those situations where everything is on the line for ASU, and U of A's got really, in essence, they got to just do one thing, and that's just play spoiler. I think that's an opportunity in and of itself. It gives guys an opportunity to say, hey, if we don't get to have a good time, they don't get to have a good time. And in the end, that's kind of what you want with the rivalry, is that if one guy's got to be miserable, let's let them be miserable all the way through to the end.
So I just got off the phone with the preeminent expert of all beer here in Tucson, and they say Yingling is not sold west of the Mississippi. They were at one point they were thinking about putting a manufacturing to do it in Texas, but that fell through, so you can't actually buy it anywhere.
So you can't
it's
get
not
it out here. I thought
anywhere.
I'd gotten it out here before. Oh, all right.
Well, like
Maybe
I
not.
said, I could try to get it online, ordered through. I think they have it on the Total Wines and Things online store. But
okay.
I'll try to go ahead and order it online for you there.
Okay, so we got folks out there that know a little bit about their beer. That's always good to know. All right, we're going to chat some Territorial Cup football. Lamont Hunley will join us on the program, a U of A linebacker from the class, I believe, of 1984, 85, one of those years. We'll get it right before he comes on. But right now, Dragon Ball's getting you home or getting you to the grocery store to finish your Thanksgiving shopping. Hope you've gotten it all done already. The place was packed on Sunday, Dragon Ball. I had to park all the way at the back because there was no place to park close.
I always do that. It gets my steps in.
There you go. All right. Dragon Ball in your traffic.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Reminder, eastbound, westbound, Grant, east of Country Club Road and east of Alverdon Way, it's going to be down to one lane as they continue the widening work out there. And also reminder, no left turns permitted at Grant and Alverdon through the rest of the month, with Dodge Boulevard also closed north and south of Grant for that work. Crews will be out there from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. I don't think they'll be working on Thanksgiving, so that should be no crews out there. But you can still access the Grant and Alverdon businesses there, but only with right turns in and out of those business parking lots. For the weather, we're currently about 77, getting ready to hit about 75 here in the next hour before we hit the low 60s here late into the evening. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Black Friday is back at Lowe's with up to 50% off select major appliances, plus an extra 10% off on select major appliances like Whirlpool. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the right choice for quality brake service and complete automotive care. You can stop in, call ahead, or make an appointment online at jackfurriers.com. Our 14 area locations are ready to help with fast, friendly service and great prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
So, you have approval to order more.
Oh,
It's just me, guys.
Why are you dressed like that?
It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations.
Since when are polar bears so short?
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year?
Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome.
I thought Wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaska vacations.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
Oh, we can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This week, the Cats take on Arizona State. Kickoff is scheduled for 1:30 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
For all the latest news from Arizona Stadium, McHale Center, and High Corbin Field, make sure to like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290. This is the exclusive home of Arizona Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, I'm Mike Ham with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 12 came to a close Monday night in Los Angeles where the Ravens beat the Chargers 30-16. Lamar Jackson threw for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, while Derrick Henry added a $140 on the ground. Baltimore improves to 8-4 on the season. Staying in the AFC, Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce has confirmed that Gardner Minshew will miss the remainder of the season after the quarterback broke his collarbone in Sunday's loss to the Broncos. Houston, NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero is reporting Jalen Petrie is expected to miss multiple weeks after the star safety suffered a partial pectoral tear Sunday against the Titans. And Daniel Jones has officially cleared waivers after being cut by the Giants on Friday. The former 6th overall pick is now an unrestricted free agent and free to sign any team in the NFL. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes! From mixing cocktails, a friendly get-together, or a brunch outdoors, Total Wine has everything you need, and more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of The Pen, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's the Wildcat Hour, which means it's time for our Arizona Insiders.
Am I late?
No, my boy, you're just in time. Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A football and the Big 12. So bear down, Wildcat Nation, and let's talk Arizona football. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light. Choose chill.
All right, before we get to Lamont Hunley, let's update you on what's happening with Arizona women's basketball. 7:18 to go in the game. It is now a 4-point deficit, 51-47. Vanderbilt leads the Wildcats as the ladies have fought back. They're on a 10-1 run in the fourth quarter. We'll keep you updated on that and maybe get you a little bit of that here in the next segment. All right, Territorial Cup week here, 98th playing of the game between Arizona and Arizona State. Pleased to be joined by Lamont Hunley, who has been with us throughout the year. You have a linebacker class of 1984. And Lamont, there is nothing better than Thanksgiving dinner and then going out and beating up on the Sun Devils.
There it is, beating them up, because at this point in time, that'll be the icing on the cake for our season, and and allow us to accept what this record has done to us this throughout the season here. So we got to do the right thing and get up there on Saturday and beat these guys and keep this win here in Tucson as well as that Territorial Cup.
What just kind of as we've it's been a few weeks since we last spoke with you, but just kind of your overall thoughts on the way things have gone to this point at 4-7 and this team not being able to get to bowl eligibility?
Well, I mean, the word I would use is very disappointed in where we stand right now. Not being able to get those 6 wins is very disappointing as far as my expectation that I expected to see. And I'm sure the staff as well as those kids over there is just as disappointed as I am. But just on a fan perspective and what I saw out there, there was opportunity for us to get the 6 games, but we could never put a complete game together. I mean, we didn't know who was going to show up week in and week out. 2 weeks ago, we had a defense that you thought it was the Desert Swarms plan. Mm-hmm. And this weekend, we didn't even have a defense. They ran through us inside and out. So it was just, Heckle and Jekyll, and we didn't know who he was dealing with, each week.
Lamont Hunley joining us. U of A class of 1984. He's our Arizona Insider, brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light, choose chill. And just kind of the defensive side of this thing, as a former linebacker, Lamont, losing Jacob Manu was so huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's been a lot of, obviously, injuries on the defensive side, but when you lose that guy in the middle, just what did you see kind of transpire for this defense after he was out?
Well, I mean, you basically lost the heartbeat of that defense. I mean, you lost all the emotion that comes with that defense. You lost a true leader as far as putting kids in place and lining them up properly if they was out of position, before the snap of the ball. I mean, you lost a coach that was on the field and as well as a hard-nosed player. And during that particular game when he came out, when he got injured, I thought he was going to probably had the best game of his life because of the previous week being kicked out the game. I just thought that kid was going to come with a vengeance and tear things up. And but unfortunate, this is what we have to deal with. So it is. I mean, it's a tough loss, and I'm sure those kids looked around and not seeing him in the huddle. It does make for some disappointment.
Of the young guys that we have seen, come in there, obviously, we've seen some guys like Emmanuel Carnley, who unfortunately is going to be suspended for his incident against DCU, play on the edge. Jack Luttrell on the backside at the safety position. Is there any of those young guys the Dominic Loliso down front that have really stood out to you?
You know what? No, I can't say there's one particular young guy who stood out more than anyone else. It just felt like to me, whatever concept they came up with defensively, and I don't know if it was more of a game plan of just let's be aggressive and get to the ball. When we did that, you saw the outcome of it, and I don't care who was out there. When we had an aggressive defense game plan per se, at that point in time, you saw what a defense stands for, and that's creating turnovers. Cutting the field down, giving the ball to the offense on a short field to let them march into the end zone. So the whatever game plan or personality or urgency that the coach comes up with this weekend, I hope that's the same game plan as well as the urgency, to have 11 heads just running around the ball, swarming around the ball, and just get to the ball and create a turnover, and let that defense sit on the sideline and let our offense, at least have a short field and have that opportunity to get in the end zone. That's what I would love to see. And honestly, when you game plan that way, it's more of an emotional game plan. And as far as a feeling that a coach or the coaching staff has to instill in these kids, because, this effort, and you can't teach effort. You got to have it, and you got to force it out of these kids.
Well, and you talk about kind of the way that they've run to the football at times, and that game against Houston, which one of the things that stood out to me was that you had two defensive linemen who knocked balls out 10 yards down the field. So you had guys that were getting back to the ball and creating, from the defensive line, that were creating turnovers.
Exactly, and that's where the desire or the want, the hustle that you have in you that can't be taught in a game plan. I mean, you just have that in you, innate in you, and it's up to the coaching staff to get it out of these kids leading up to Saturday's game. You just got to constantly preach it, yell it. It becomes just second nature. Punching the balls out. It's just a second nature thing that you do, and it's effort to get down the field, and a running back, turns the wrong way inside a big old defensive lineman that he can punch that ball out and create that turnover. That's the best desire that you can have for a defense and stuff. And I hope that is the makeup of our defense this weekend, because honestly, that's the only way we're going to be able to, stand on this field and compete against this offense that they got up there. That Scatterboo kid, he's a monster. This kid, me playing linebacker, boy, whew, him and I would be having some headaches after the end of this game, because I'm telling you, that kid is a monster to bring down, and they better go in there with that mindset of getting multiple bodies around him, and try to get that ball out, because ASU's coming down here to run the ball down our throat.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my next question. Like, how would you what would you devise the plan B to try to stop a kid like that?
And that's why they're swarming around the football. You have to, and using your whole body. You can't use half your arms or, half of your body to try to bring a person down like that. You gotta front that big old gorilla up, and you got to put everything and see the impact of the hit when you hit him. Have your head up and looking at the numbers and running right through those numbers until he's on the ground, and hope that two or three other teammates is right there, right beside you, to take him down. And you got to put some licks on him to slow him down, to get him in a situation where, okay, can I keep doing this, or do I want to keep doing this? So we got to bring some heat to this kid, and get him second guessing as far as running the football. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day, for our safeties back there. And those safeties ain't going to be able to handle this kid.
We're chatting with Lamont Hundley, U of A linebacker, class of 1984. He is your Arizona Insider on this Tuesday, brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light, choose chill. Lamont, we had somebody, we were asking for memories of the Territorial Cup game, and one of our callers mentioned that 1982 game, which would have been the second one, I believe, that you were a part of, and I believe that was the one where they hit Brian Holland on the long pass from the end zone. But I also believe I saw some highlights of that game, and you guys had like 2 or 3 safeties in that game.
Yes, we did.
Walk me through what was going on down there on the goal line for you guys that day.
Well, actually, the great gentleman who's not with us anymore, Joe Drake, our defensive line, our nose guard. I mean, one of my best friends on the team, and he was just a God's gift when it comes to linebackers. I mean, you wanted that body in front of you. But Joe and then the other linebacker, Glenn Perkins, both of those guys was impactful as far as having safeties. One was they was lined up on the 2-yard line, and I think the other one was like a half-a-yard line. And and it was. I mean, we called the right defense. It was a Trojan. They called it back there. We had a defense called a Trojan front. And what we end up doing is basically we actually go to the opposite gap. And Joe was the nose guard naturally at that point in time, so he was playing 2 gap. And the ball itself came through the A gap, and Joe took the offensive center and he 2-gapped this offensive center, dropped him in the lap of the quarterback, and dropped him in the lap of the quarterback. Got the running back. I think it was Darryl Clack was the running back, and just dropped him for a safety. And that was in the south end zone on that particular one. It was the right play call at the right time, and we had a great guy in Joe Drake to make it happen. And people ask about memories and stuff like that to stand out, but those are impactful plays that still is in my memory bank. And and I hope these kids this weekend can create some memories for themselves, so when they 50, 60, 70 years old, they can sit back and say that was so impact for me, and I could still see those moments, and I could still see that play. I can even hear the crowd yelling, and when that play did take place. So it was a great day, and to have 2 sacks in one game, you probably never heard of.
And so 1984 would have been your senior year. I mean, all those games in that era were just real close. I think 28-18, 18-13, 16-10 games. Give me the defensive play out of that 84 game that you remember.
Well, that particular game was my senior year. Okay, and out of that game, it actually was Byron Evans. Byron, he blocked the field goal. And they was going in to get the field goal, and Byron put his hand up, and he blocked that field goal, and Max came in and kicked the field goal for us and stuff. So, I mean, but again, it was something defense that create the impact of I shouldn't say the impact, but the end result of the game. And that would have been it right there as far as doing something impactful like that and blocking that field goal to allow us to get the ball and score and stuff. So, and then, like you said earlier, you brought up and even not on defense but offense, I still could see Brian Hollins running down that field. I mean, I can see this Brian Hollins, but then after Brian ran down the field, Brad Anderson ran down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then, but to top it off, David, to watch these ASU fans come down with the roses in their mouths, and then all of a sudden these roses are dropped to the ground because we took that opportunity from them to go to the Rose Bowl. Because if they would have won that game, they would have been in the Rose Bowl. So now let's reflect back to this year. We still got these kids have that same type of opportunity to spoil ASU opportunity to go to the Big 12. Because if they win, I think they got that opportunity to play in that championship game.
Yeah, they control their own destiny.
And take it from them, right? Why not use that and take that away from them? I think I saw an article in the paper that Brennan said that's not he don't want to use that as MO. BS. Use it. Use it. You know,
Right.
because think about this, man. We don't have Pac-12 no more. That's the only thing that you got connected to the Pac-12 is like Pac-12, Pac-10, or whatever you want to call it, whatever that conference was at one point in time. The only connection we got is us and ASU. And this game right here is still part of that history. So why not take it away from them going that way and use it as ammunition? I'm sorry. Use it as ammunition to get these guys fired up to, take that opportunity away from them.
Lamont, we got a longtime caller. We refer to him as Paul in Phoenix. He just texted and said, tell Lamont that my Uncle Frank, who apparently his Uncle Frank as Jack LaLanne, says forks down and have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. But tell him I said the same thing. After Thanksgiving, I know what he's talking about. It's like something hidden in there.
Exactly.
It's hidden in there. Hey, but Dave, did you say this the 98th?
98th Territorial Cup game, yes.
Nice. Now, here's me being selfish.
Okay.
They need to go out there and win this 98th game because that's my jersey.
There you go. There you go. Number 98, Lamont Hundley, Territorial Cup game
right.
98. You got to win that one for sure. Hey, Lamont,
Bring it home for me.
Look forward to seeing you out there on Saturday in Bear Down.
All right, brother. Bear down. Bye-bye.
Lamont Hundley, U of A class of 1984.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Choose chill.
All right, much more coming up. Let me give you a quick update on this. 20 seconds to go. Oh, Vanderbilt is going to win. They're going to beat Arizona 70-60. We'll see if we can get you Adia Barnes' comments on the other side in the 5 o'clock hour. Arizona women going to go down at the Acrisure Holiday Invitational. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet. We have that underground utility work starting along Houghton Road between Irvington and Escalante. Again, crews be out there working from weekdays 6:30 to 5 p.m., so another hour for those crews out there. You probably will see travel lane restrictions there potentially in place as they continue the work here till mid-2025. For the weather, we're officially in 77 degrees, but we're going to be dropping to about 68 here once we get to 7. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
The Cincinnati Bearcats are a short home underdog. I'm Sammy P., here to help you beat the books with BetQL. TCU on the highway this weekend to face Cincinnati, and the Bearcats catching 3 on their home field. The BetQL model is backing the dog. BetQL Cincinnati +3 is a 5-star best bet. I'm Sammy P. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
So what is the nationality of Santa Claus? I've got it right here. It's North Polish. Anyway, it's the red tag sale going on right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. If you can't get to the North Pole, see us.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the right choice for quality brake service and complete automotive care. You can stop in, call ahead, or make an appointment online at jackfurriers.com. Our 14 area locations are ready to help with fast, friendly service and great prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can help provide you with semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text SOLVE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie to see if you're eligible. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text SOLVE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SOLVE to 200-300. SOLVE to 200-300.
When you donate a toy, we will donate a toy. It's our annual gift back to our community. We're collecting new, unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots. And for every toy you donate, we'll donate another. For every dollar you donate, we'll match it. At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning. That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again. Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys, putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids. And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home. Alaskan AC loves having fun, but we're serious about helping kids. So serious, we're matching your donation. We'll donate a toy for every one you donate and match cash donations dollar for dollar. Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas. For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
This is Zach Gelb with Sports Minute, sponsored by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. The Ravens smothered the Chargers last night in the second half, but let's not overreact to it. Baltimore has an unbelievable 1-2 punch in Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and are probably the third best team in the AFC. But until Baltimore gets the job done in the postseason, I'll continue to raise an eyebrow when it comes to actually believing that this year will be different for the Ravens than the last few seasons. I'm Zach Gelb.
Arizona football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws an awesome block so his teammate can score instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Everyone knows the most exciting part of football is the score. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Place a first touchdown scorer wager today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I've got a sweet deal I'm going to tell you about coming up in this segment as well. I want to update with you. It has now gone final in Palm Springs. Vanderbilt knocks off Arizona 71-60. This is women's basketball. It was quite a comeback for the ladies, who trailed by 11. At the half, the Wildcats were down by 13 points. They trailed by as many as 20 points in this game early in the third quarter and got back to within 1 point in the fourth quarter at 53-52 after a Jada Williams three-pointer. But a lot of free throws, it looks like, down the stretch for the Vanderbilt Lady Commodores, and they closed this out winning by 11 points over the Arizona Wildcats. So second loss of the year for the ladies. And just some of the final scoring numbers on this one. Jada Williams, 20 points on 6 of 13 shooting, 3 of 9 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line. Jada, though, did turn the ball over 7 times. She also had 6 steals. Arizona had 26 turnovers in this game. They cannot win with this if they continue to turn the ball over the way they've been doing.
I was just listening to Derek efforting trying to get Coach Barnes on, and he said that they had 26-12 in the second half. So the bulk of those did come in the first half. They cleaned it up a little bit in the second half, but like you said, 26 turnovers, DK, shooting 42%, 43% from the field. Tough to win a game like that.
That is 50 turnovers in the last 2 games. 50 in the last 2 games. That's tough.
It's tough when you turn the ball over more, than your opponent. So Vanderbilt was a little sloppy too. They had 23, and obviously that's what Adia Barnes' defense tries to do. But at the same time, they also got out-rebounded by 8. So when you lose the rebounding battle, DK, you don't shoot well from the field, and you're a little sloppy handling the ball. None of those things lead towards a victory, especially if you're not in front of your home crowd.
And Vanderbilt went to the line 20 more times in this game than Arizona. Arizona, I don't think they shot a single free throw in the first half of this game. I looked up, they had 0 free throws at the break. They ended up shooting 11, but Vanderbilt outshot the Wildcats at the line 23 of 31 to 6 of 11 for Arizona. So plus 17 alone at the line.
And that was
the
not
Vanderbilt Commodores.
Not a situation like the Arizona men's saw in Madison where one player had 21 free throws, DK. Yeah. I'm looking at the stats, and there are 4 different Vanderbilt Commodores that had 6 or more free throws today. So it was very even, spread out.
17 points, 9 rebounds for Brea Cunningham in this game. Paulina Paris had 9 on 4 of 10 from the floor. She had 3 assists in the contest. Skylar Jones, 3 of 9, 6 points, and 0 rebounds for Skylar. Isis Bay, just 2 points, 5 rebounds. Lauren Swan, this is the big thing here. She played 24 minutes, but 0 for 3. Did not score a point, did Lauren Swan, and she's been providing a lot of offense for that team all season long. Sanaya Ja, 6 points in the game as well, and she went 3 of 6 from the floor. Wildcats as a team shot 25 of 58 for 43%. They were 4 of 16 for 3. Again, doesn't look like it's going to be a team that's going to shoot a lot of threes, and that could be problematic for them moving forward once they get into Big 12 competition.
Nobody told Jada that.
Yeah, Jada took 9.
9 of them.
Jada took 9 of those 3-point shots in the ball game. Jada mentioned the rebounding advantage went to Vanderbilt 40-33 in this ball game. They got 29 points off those 26 turnovers for Arizona. And although the Wildcats did dominate in the paint, plus 20, 40-20 in the contest, but 19 steals for the Vanderbilt Commodores, contributing to those 26 turnovers for the Arizona Wildcats, and they lose for the second time in 3 games, 71-60, the final in Palm Springs, where it looks like there's a men's game that's also going to be played there. Looks like Grand Canyon is going to play in a men's game there after the 2 women's games have concluded. So Arizona will play against California tomorrow. So a renewal of the rivalry against the old sisters from the Pac-12. That'll be an interesting game tomorrow. And I believe that's an early game. I'll double check the schedule on that, but I think that game is going to be at 11:30 in the morning tomorrow. And that'll be, again, you can hear that game on Freedom 1400 KTUC tomorrow. So we'll let you know that information as well. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290.
There's a deeper stat here, DK, which is that despite Arizona not shooting well overall, 43%, and despite the fact that you said they're not maybe going to be a great 3-point shooting team, they shot 70% on 2-pointers in this game, DK.
Wow.
Did the Arizona Wildcats.
Well, and that probably goes to show, like we were saying, they dominated in the paint. They did get the ball inside. So let's hope that they can, start to, if they can just keep control of the basketball a little bit better, and utilize that inside game, it could lead to pretty good things for this team moving forward. So they'll play California tomorrow in the final game of this Acrisure Invitational. And then I think they are off the floor again until next week. So a little bit of a break. And that's a team that needs a break. They've been playing a lot.
They've been playing a ton.
They've been playing a lot of games in a short period of time since they began their
The men have played
season on November
5
times? Yeah, 5 times, I believe. And this was the 8th game of the season for them. Yeah, so they'll have about they won't play again until Monday. So 5 days. It's not a huge time off, but 5 days will be good for them to have off after this game here today. So that game, actually, I'm sorry, I said 11:30. It's actually at noon tomorrow. So coverage will begin at 11:45. And these games are on True TV. I totally snapped on that. I could have been watching it the whole time. But these games will be on True TV. So True TV tomorrow at noon. And also at noon tomorrow, you've got Arizona women's volleyball. We'll try to get you some of the comments. We had a chance to hear from Charita Stubbs. And maybe we'll bring you that at the top of the next hour, a little bit of what she had to say at her press conference today. They've won 5 in a row as Arizona volleyball team, and they've got 2 games left. They play tomorrow in the home finale against, I believe it is, I forgot who they play tomorrow. I know they play Texas Tech on Friday on the road, and they've got one more game. I think it's maybe Iowa State tomorrow at home. So they'll have, and they really need to win both these games to have a chance to finish at 20 wins. It's actually Central Florida. Central Florida tomorrow at home. That's a 1 o'clock start at McHale Center, and then noon on Friday at Texas Tech. Win both of those, you finish 20-9, 9-9 in conference, and you may at least have a shot with having upset Kansas at home and also beating a ranked BYU team at home. But they're going to have to wait. They're on the bubble, and they're going to have to wait and find out what happens on Sunday for sure.
I have an answer for you.
Yes.
From the voice of the man himself.
Okay.
I've been listening in on our sister station, KTUC, to see if we could hear Coach Barnes with her traditional after-game sit-down with Derek, and here's what Derek had to say.
Try to hear what Coach Barnes has to say. I'm sitting way too far from the bench. She's not going to be able to join me.
Okay.
Not going to be able to join Derek today after the game.
There is going to be I understand there'll be a media briefing, a Zoom call. So, but it wasn't scheduled to take place for about a half an hour after the game. So if we get any of that, we'll try to record that. If we get any of that, we'll let you hear some of that towards the end of the show. If not, we'll get it for you tomorrow on Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Let you hear some of those thoughts. But again, their game tomorrow will be in progress. But we'll keep you updated on everything that's happening over there in Palm Springs as we move forward. We're going to break down Arizona Wildcats football as we always do on Tuesday with Glenn Howell. That'll be coming up around 5:20. So stay with us for that. Want to take your calls, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Don't forget, we'll be on the mall on Saturday for Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day starting at 9 a.m. So join us for that. We'll have you from 9 to 12. A lot of Territorial Cup stories to be told, hopefully, for sure. So join us for all of that as we get you set for the big game. DK on the Sports Tip, you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an incident with reported hit and run at Oracle and Tangerine, causing a lot of slowing on both north and southbound Oracle, going to the three-way stop there. And the 6-lane widening project along Valencia Road east of Kolb and west of Houghton continues, with the crews expected to get out of there by about 6 p.m. today. For the weather, we're currently about 76 right now, getting ready to hit 75 for the 5 o'clock hour and the low 60s by tonight. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Ready Whip. This is the sound of holiday happiness. Yeah, Ready Whip. Fun to use, fun to eat. You're not ready for the holidays without Ready Whip.
Tune in to DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290 Thursday afternoons to compete in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge, where you can win money by placing a bet on the right team this football season. More info at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This week, the Cats take on Arizona State. Kickoff is scheduled for 1:30 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Presented by Gin & Juice by Dre and Snoop.
You're invited to a historic day for Tucson on Saturday, December 28th.
I'll be there.
This is big time Tucson with the Tailgate Festival starting at 10 a.m.
Will you be there?
Then at 2:30, it's the only bowl game with all net proceeds to charities.
We'll see you there.
With tickets at thearizonabowl.com, it's doggone good for Tucson. Tickets at thearizonabowl.com.
Are you facing plumbing problems and need a reliable solution? Whether it's a leaky faucet, a clogged drain, or an upgrade to a tankless water heater, Rightway has you covered. And for a limited time only, we're offering 10% off your next repair or installation. Don't let plumbing issues ruin your day. Call Rightway at 520-276-2775. We'll get a plumber to your door. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Wish Black Friday deals lasted longer? Good news! At Oro Ford, Black Friday deals last all month long. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Expeditions, Ford Edges, and Ford F-150s. And Oro Ford's the only Ford dealer with zero city sales tax and no dealer add-ons. Stuff your plate with savings all November long at Oro Ford's Black Friday sale. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Make Dave & Buster's a part of your weekly rituals. Military Monday, get extra gameplay on your card. Tuesday night is trivia night with great prizes. Thursday is extra credit with student discounts on gameplay after 9 p.m. Stop in Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials. Want more? Rewards members will get an extra 100 chips with the purchase of 100 chips and Sunday sips for hospitality workers. Come out to Dave & Buster's, the best place outside of the stadium to see the games this football season. Monday and Thursday, get all-you-can-eat wings with game card for $19.99. Sunday, get in on the chance to win a big game watch party at Dave & Buster's in front of the big screen, plus other big prizes and weekly winners. Only at Dave & Buster's. Make Dave & Buster's your place to watch the games.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Dave & Buster's Tucson. You can get a $25 Power Play card and a $25 gift card for just $25. That's a $50 value. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The one and only home of Arizona baseball. Pre- and post-game coverage, play-by-play, and live press conferences. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 3 of the program, Arizona women's basketball falls on the road today in the Acrisure Holiday Invitational over in Palm Springs. This is the most convoluted tournament I have ever seen. I'm just like looking at the breakdown of this because I looked up on TV, on True TV, which is carrying these games, and they've got like a little bridge show because there's another game coming up. There's a men's game, which is going to feature Grand Canyon and the Stanford Cardinal, Maxime Reynaud and company. And so there are 5 games today in this tournament. They've actually got 3 different tournaments going on over the course of the next 4 days of this event. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like this before. So they had the what they're calling the Acrisure Holiday Invitational today, which was the 4 women's teams played. Cal versus Michigan State. Michigan State beat Cal. That was the first game. Vanderbilt and Arizona just got concluded. Vanderbilt beat Arizona. So now Vanderbilt and Michigan State play tomorrow. Arizona and Cal play tomorrow. There's 3 men's games also they're playing today, including this Grand Canyon-Stanford game. SMU is going to play Cal Baptist, and Fresno State is playing Washington State. So there's 5 games today. There's 5 games tomorrow. So they'll play the 2 women's games in the Acrisure, which is being, I guess this one is being called the Acrisure Classic.
That's the one Arizona was in last year. Yeah. Do you want me to bring back my same joke?
Please.
How can you call something a classic if it founded in 2023?
Right, exactly.
Like, I love it when there's a brand new tournament and they just dub it the Classic. It's the first, because last year was the very first year that the Wildcats, the men's team, was involved.
So there's that. So the Acrisure Classic, so there'll be a third-place game and a championship game. Then there's a singular game in what's called the Acrisure Holiday Invitational on the women's side. USC is going to play Seton Hall. And then you've got the Acrisure Holiday Invitational, which will be the third place and championship game from 2 of the men's games today. Now, I don't know which 2 of the 3 of those games constitutes that part of the bracket. Then on Thanksgiving, there's 4 games. There's 4 men's games. TCU will play Santa Clara. Washington plays Colorado State. USC men are going to play St. Mary's. And Arizona State men are also in this thing, and they'll play New Mexico on Thanksgiving Day. And then there's another 5 games on Friday, 4 men's games and 1 women's game. USC women will play St. Louis.
It's all in a word, DK, because the Acrisure Holiday Invitational is a 4-team tournament that takes place 2 days before Thanksgiving. The Acrisure Invitational, without the holiday involved, is a 4-team tournament, takes place 2 days after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Before and after.
And then you've got the Acrisure Classic, which is, I guess, what Arizona's women and Arizona State's men are going to compete in. It, like I said, it's the most convoluted tournament that I think I've ever seen. But, hey, 4 good days of basketball in Palm Springs where people can go and have a good time, and I'm sure the weather's good and the restaurants are fabulous and maybe some of the pools are open and there's great golf and all kinds of stuff. So that building, which they, like you mentioned, they just built a couple of years ago, but they want to be a haven apparently for basketball in the West. So this is the second year that they've had events there, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. So congratulations to them on that. Again, Arizona loses, however, to
If I recall correctly,
Vanderbilt.
the founder of Acrisure is a big Spartan booster. That's why they were initially involved last year.
Right.
Yeah, and so a big basketball fan. Ishbia connected as well.
Is that Acrisure? Is that the name of the stadium in Pittsburgh? We got to get Dragon Ball back here. I thought that's what they call the stadium in Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah,
but
formerly
I'm not
known
sure.
as Heinz Field.
Heinz Field, yeah. Acrisure Stadium or whatever it is. So they're all over the place. All right, I've got a sweet deal for you, and it goes on sale Friday, right after Thanksgiving. So you're going to have to get out of that food coma from Thanksgiving, and you're going to have to be up early on Friday if you want this sweet deal from Dave & Buster's. It's a Power Play card, $25 Power Play card, $25 food gift card for just $25. So normally you got to pay the full price of $50 to get these 2 cards. But we're giving you these 2 cards for just $25. Again, a sweet deal, Friday morning, 8:30 a.m., WildcatsRadio1290.com. Dave & Buster's. It is the best place to eat, watch, drink, and play. Watch your favorite sports on massive 120-inch HD TVs. The Browns are going to be on Monday night this week, so they go from Thursday night to Monday night against the Broncos. One of our traditional rivalries. I have to call my guy Kyler Murray. Not my guy Kyler Murray. My guy Kyler Diggs.
You got Kyler on speed dial?
Yeah, my guy Kyler Diggs over at K-Gun 9. He's a big Broncos fan. I'll have to see if he's working Monday. We'll have to maybe get together and watch the game.
Real sidebar real quick. Is there such a thing as a small Broncos fan? Because I've never met one. I've only ever met big Bronco fans.
I'm sure there are some small Broncos.
No, like I'm telling you, like the love for the Broncos among the fan base of the people that I've ever met, and this is outside of, I'm not talking about in Denver.
Yeah.
I'm talking about every Bronco fan I've ever met is just all about the Broncos.
And Dave & Buster's is the best place outside the stadium. What are they calling it now there? It's not Mile High anymore. It's some corporate name, Adventure or something of that nature.
Sure.
Stadium.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. It's the best place outside of the Adventure Stadium. I don't even know where that game is, if it's in Cleveland or Denver. But go to Dave & Buster's and watch the game.
It's called Empower Field at Mile High.
Empower Field at Mile High Stadium. Okay, there you go. All right. Dave & Buster's. Sweet deal, $25 power play card, $25 food gift card, so you can play and eat. And we're giving that to you for $25 this Friday, 8:30 a.m., Wildcats Radio, 1290.com. All right, the Suns, we didn't get to this. The Suns play tonight against the Lakers, and they are trying to end their 5-game losing streak, and it's going to be the return of some of the important players. We've got Bradley Beal expected to be back. We've got Kevin Durant expected to be back. Let's hear one of the shorter ones of this. Let's hear
probably Tyus Jones.
Let's hear Tyus Jones on the return of two of the big three.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a productive day. Good couple days to kind of regroup, reset. And getting back to it now and having Brad and KD back is obviously huge for us, and they look good today. So. As far as talking about the rookies, if you can a point guard, how much are you trying to maybe involve them because they have been out? When they haven't been out, I'm trying to involve them. You know what I mean? So that's always going to be a good game plan on my end to involve Kay, Brad, obviously Book. But yeah, just for them getting a feel again, getting up and down a little bit. It's different than doing your individual drills. So definitely trying to give them, some good game reps, give them some good looks, and like I said, they look good. They didn't miss a beat.
All right, that's the newest point guard, Tyus Jones, and also Ryan Dunn on having to guard a lot of tough games coming up for the Suns, and Ryan Dunn is going to have to guard guys like LeBron James, Cam Thomas, and Steph Curry coming up this week.
Going Lakers again. LeBron, AD, all those guys is great. We see them a lot, and now learning with the Nets with Cam Thomas. It's actually playing with the school of Cam Thomas, so that's kind of crazy. But just, he's a great scorer. And then obviously Steph Curry, I got to come off 45 off-ball screens and, get my wind up for that game, which I'm excited for. It's a gauntlet now, so just trying to get back to it.
Is Steph a unique challenge you had in mind coming into the league, knowing that was one you wanted to tackle?
Yeah, he's a guy that, does a lot off-ball and a lot on-ball and stuff. It's just now understanding who he is as a player, watching film on that and see what I can do to try to live my life.
Is the toughest thing like the fakes that he uses?
Yeah, he's a great shooter. Steph Curry, he's you think he's gonna make every shot when he shoots it. So it's just trying to stay down and not get a lot of foul calls, but just being aggressive and just trying to make it tough for him.
Hey, Ryan Dunn, you're 21 years old. You have a reputation for being a pretty good defender. Go guard LeBron, Cam Thomas, and Steph Curry this week.
There you go. But again, it's 5 straight losses, but this is the 3rd of 6 straight home games. So hopefully the Suns can kind of get things back on track. They've had 5 days off. So
that's a weird part.
Yeah,
they've had that weird 5-day break.
Stretch at home when you go back to the Orlando and the New York game. So the Lakers tonight, Brooklyn tomorrow night. Obviously, this is a cup night throughout the NBA. So the Emirates Cup games all over the league.
Wear your sunglasses while you're watching the games.
There you go. Lots of bright courts out there. My wife did not like that court in Boston last week. She was watching the Cavs and the Celtics game. She was like, "What was up with that court?" I was like, "Yep, welcome to the new world of the NBA Cup." And then Golden State at the Footprint Center on Saturday, and then next Tuesday, Wemby and San Antonio come to town before the fellas hit the road again. All right, Dragon Ball rejoins the program. Dragon Ball, the Suns will have Kevin Durant back tonight. Bradley Beal expect to be back tonight? Does the losing streak come to an end tonight?
I would certainly hope so. Otherwise, you got some more problems coming up with that. But I think that if you get Kevin Durant back there, it doesn't force Devin Booker to have to be the all-time scorer that he has to be at all night. He can also focus on being maybe a bit more focused on the defensive side of things. Let KD be the scorer, and then they can trade things off in between the two of them. And Tyus Jones, see if he can go ahead and get some more of those big-time players in the rotation, get them in easy shots. That's going to be the big thing, to get the point guard involved, to get other guys easy open looks rather than having to fight themselves for it. Because again, I don't trust that calf. I don't trust that calf injury for Kevin Durant coming fresh off of it right now.
Well, that was my next question. Early thoughts on Tyus Jones. 11 points, 7 assists through these first 16 games.
Hey, I'll take it. A much better production out of the point guard position than they had last season, where they really didn't have one. You got a guy that's willing to go ahead and not really force up shots to be involved in the offense, willing to pass it out, let other guys be the shooters. And that's really, in essence, what this team needs. When you have a bunch of isolation scores, you can't always trust isolation ball. So you go ahead and kick it out to a couple of guys that are very good from range. Let them go ahead and get their range rather than have to force themselves to break down a defender to get their shot.
Tyus Jones, who I did not know, was originally drafted by the Cavaliers back in 2015. I don't know the story of how we let him get away, but damn.
Well, considering the point guard.
2015.
Yeah,
so that was in the heart of the LeBron return era there. So we probably drafted him as an asset to trade to get something else. Let's see. Drafted 24th and traded his rights to the Timberwolves in exchange for, the great Cedi Osman. We got a few decent years out of Cedi Osman. I don't remember Raheem Christmas whatsoever.
Hey, I like the name, though.
Raheem, the original Big Christmas in Cleveland. Raheem, I don't think he's going to have very many memories to dole out like John Kenzie Noel does. But there you go. I mean, you never know what happens. It's always interesting to see what happens on draft night. We always see those draft night deals and guys get traded and whatnot. And 10 years later now, 9 years later, here's Tyus Jones as a key important piece on this Phoenix Suns team. There you go. All right. Dragon Ball's got your traffic and your weather every 20 minutes, filling in for cricket.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. We have an accident with injury back out in the Vale area again. This is at Houghton and East Andrada Road. Again, Houghton having a lot of backup right now on that intersection, so do be aware of that if you're out in Vale. Another accident over at Valencia and South 12th Avenue. Valencia going both east and westbound right now, grinding to a halt seemingly because of this crash, so do be aware of that if you're traveling out on Valencia. For your weather, we're finally down to 75. We're going to be hitting 68 here in about another hour or so, and then we'll get in the low 60s here by late night. I am Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
By Ready Whip, topping off a dessert or swirling it onto hot cocoa. Ready Whip is here to whip up some holiday cheer. Ready Whip is made with real cream, so pick up a can or two. Ready Whip.
Wildcat fans, are you ready for the 98th Annual Territorial Cup between your Arizona Wildcats and that school up north? Bring all the energy you have to Arizona Stadium on Saturday, November 30th, as your Wildcats wrap up their home season. Go to ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets or call the ticket office at 520-621-2287 to secure your seat today. Bear down and go Cats!
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Wish Black Friday deals lasted longer? Good news! At Oro Ford, Black Friday deals last all month long. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Expeditions, Ford Edges, and Ford F-150s. And Oro Ford's the only Ford dealer with zero city sales tax and no dealer add-ons. Stuff your plate with savings all November long at Oro Ford's Black Friday sale. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Wildcats Radio, 1290 and Goldberg and Osborne. The injury lawyers are proud to support the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Your Arizona Wildcats will take on ASU this Saturday at Arizona Stadium. Get all the info at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Online, on your phone with the Freedom 1400 app, on your smart speaker, or on the air. No matter how you listen. Join Brian Kilmeade for his insightful commentary and engaging discussions from 6 to 9 a.m. Keep the conversation going with Dan Bongino from 9 to noon for his straight-talking analysis. Then catch Chris Plant from noon to 3 and Jimmy Fela from 3 to 6 for more thought-provoking discussions and hilarious moments. Conservative talk for Tucson is Freedom 1400 a.m.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This week, the Cats take on Arizona State. Kickoff is scheduled for 1:30 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Why are there so many options to listen to Wildcats Radio 1290? Like the Odyssey.com and iHeartRadio app. Well, to be honest, they asked to carry the best sports station in town, and we didn't want to hurt their feelings.
That is so sweet.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Over in college basketball, South Carolina's 43-game winning streak was snapped on Sunday when they fell on the road to then number 5 UCLA, 77-62. It's the first loss for the Gamecocks since the Final Four in 2023. Last season, South Carolina went 38-0 en route to another NCAA championship. They started this new campaign with the number 1 ranking and a 5-0 record. But on Sunday, head coach Don Staley's team was overwhelmed by the UCLA Bruins.
That was beautiful basketball by UCLA. Beautiful on both sides. Fluid on both sides of the ball. They wanted it. I thought our kids fought, but we ran into a buzzsaw today.
After their big win, UCLA is now the AP's number 1 ranked team for the first time in program history. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan-Decker on Westwood One.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are looking for your Territorial Cup memories, games that you saw, things that you saw, plays that you saw. Here's a guy that never lost to the Sun Devils and loves to rub that in their face whenever he has an opportunity. Glenn Howell joins us. U of A football class of 1985. He was a part of 3 Territorial Cup games, 83, 84, and 85, and the Wildcats won all 3 of those games. What's it like to never lose to the Sun Devils, Glenn?
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is exquisite.
Exquisite. It's interesting. That's obviously that is during the 9-year period known as the streak, where the Wildcats went 8-0 and there was one tie in 1987. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at least in the modern era, that's the only period of time where you would have had an entire class, or maybe even multiple entire classes, go through their entire time without having lost a game to the Sun Devils.
Yes, there is. That's the guys. There's the class of 84. The guys that came in 84 and left in 89, they tied one game.
Right.
But they never lost.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing. I mean, it's great it's like we were talking the other day, Dave. It's just that in this new era of the portal, it's almost like you hope they understand the rivalry, because some guys are just here 1 year and they were at some other place. They don't understand it. When I got here, I walked in the locker room and there was a clock ticking. There was a clock. And I was like, what is that? A countdown clock. It had days. It had weeks. I mean, it was countdown. It was like, and I go, what's that? It's to when we play ASU. We got to beat ASU. And Larry Smith emphasized that. He wanted to make sure that everybody knew that was the most important game.
And that's one of the things, Glenn, that I loved about Jim Trussell, who was the head coach at Ohio State for a number of years. And I brought this question to Brennan this week, and I'll let you guys hear it coming up later in the week. But for Jim Trussell, when he coached at Ohio State, he had a Michigan period in every practice. Might have only been like 2 minutes of that practice, but it was something in every practice that was devoted to the Michigan game. And I know we constantly hear coach speak, well, one game at a time, and that's fine. But he always wanted the kids to know that we're getting ready to go beat Michigan here at the end of the year. All of this, everything we're doing in this 1 week at a time is preparing us to go beat Michigan in the last week of the season.
Absolutely. I think that's pivotal to having a rivalry, sustaining a rivalry, and understanding, making kids go from generational to, because I could tell that story if my son went there and played. He would understand that. You got to do the generational kind of thing, and I don't know if we're going to get that with all this portal stuff.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's so much transientness right now in college football. You have very few, and that's why it was interesting when people asked Brent Brennan this week about celebrating Tetsuo McMillan because he's going to be a junior and he's probably going to be leaving, almost definitely going to be leaving. He's not going to be coming back. But he indicated, if we start celebrating juniors, that gets messy. We want to celebrate the guys that have been here. It's senior day. We want to celebrate. And granted, there's going to be seniors that have come in, short-time seniors as well. But we want to celebrate those guys who have been here the entire 4 years or 5 years in some cases and have really deserve to be celebrated for their time in this program. And the way he kind of put it, I kind of understand where he's coming from there. I know there's a lot of people that want to see Tetaroa celebrated, and I know Sean Miller did that a little bit when he was here. He would celebrate guys that he knew that were leaving, and I think Tommy maybe has even done that as well. But yeah, you got to celebrate your seniors. I mean, and I know you know, I've heard stories you told and other guys told. This week was all about celebrating the seniors.
Yeah, and I understand that, but this is a different era. It's a different thing. Guys are leaving their junior year, so those are literally seniors. They know that they can leave to go to the league. So if we know that they're going to the league, I think we should celebrate them as the seniors. I think that I don't think you need to be a 4-year guy, because it'll be rare to see 4-year guys moving forward because of the portal and all those things that are happening with the portal. So it'll be rare to see that, and I think they should celebrate T-Mac, because he is leaving. He's going to go to the NFL, and they should celebrate him.
Chatting with Glenn Howe, Wildcat Breakdown, U of A football class of 1985. So let's just dive into a few things. I'm not going to go too deep into this last game, 49-28 loss to TCU, but there were a couple things that kind of stood out to me. On the offensive side of the ball, Glenn, we've seen the last couple of weeks, they've tried a lot of those quick throws to the edge. And we talked a little bit about this last week and how, there was one they tried to throw in the game against Houston that wasn't blocked very well by Jeremiah Patterson. They tried to do that again this past game, but one of the issues they had this past game was that they were outnumbered on a lot of those throws, where I think the first time they tried it in the first half, they had 2 to block 3 guys. They tried it 2 more times after that, and it was, I think, one guy to block 2 guys. Like, when you're trying those edge throws to the pass like that, and you're undermanned, I mean, you don't have enough guys out there to block. How can those plays be successful? Is that something that pre-snap, no one needs to read better that, okay, it looks like I'm not going to have the numbers out there I want for that play to be successful, and then maybe I need to check out of that and check into something else?
Yeah, I would think they would get an audible. You had to read at the line of scrimmage. You can, we used to have check with me. It used to be called, we'd call a play and then say check with me. And then that would be telling you that the receivers need to understand that there'll be a hot number or color that'll be called, and then you would check with me, and then he would change the play if the numbers weren't right. So I don't know if they have that in their system. If they're getting that problem a lot, they should have that in their system, because that's what they should be doing. They should be checking out of those plays that are not going to have a chance to be successful.
Chatting with Glenn Howe, U of A football class of 1985. What other things stood out to you, Glenn, after watching the tape of this TCU game?
Well, we played the first half. I thought we played pretty decently, played good. That last drive just killed us. It just killed us. If we were to went into the locker room at 13-14, that would have been beautiful. I think we would have had a chance in that game. But, by them scoring and then having them come out with the ball the second half, we need to keep that at 13-14. And that really just didn't go well for us. It turned out really bad.
Glenn, we talk about that last drive of the first half, and I think the play that stands out to everybody was the 3rd and 23, the ball that just kind of stayed up there forever, and the Wildcats couldn't get to it. And Dwayne Aquina talked a little bit about that today, and and talked about the play at Central Florida, which was the Hail Mary that got by them, and he kind of put a little bit of the onus of that on Takario Davis. He's kind of the guy. He said he's the box out guy in those long Hail Mary passes, and obviously he was one of the guys that was there. And I think we've seen, as good as Takario is, he still doesn't have that knack for for getting the football, for putting himself in a position to get his hands on the football. And I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to be a detriment to him once he gets to the next level. But when you look at the opportunities he's had to get to balls and not being able to get to them, and then you got a young guy like a Jack Luttrell who it just seems like whenever the ball's near him, he has it. That just clearly shows you there's a knack for that. Some guys just have a knack for understanding how to get the football, and some guys just don't.
Yeah, and it's just about turning your hips. He looked like he was off balance when he saw the ball. He's got to, they got to get better with their feet and turning their hips and just being able to leap at the ball. He couldn't leap. He looked like he had cement blocked in his feet, that he couldn't jump, because the ball just like kind of was, I thought it was up there for about 20 days. It was just up there so long. It was just up there, and I thought that if he would have just turned his hips and been able to jump, and that's what that's a being an athlete, being athletic, being able to move and turn your hips and turn your head and being able to jump, and he just couldn't do it at that time.
No, and I think the other thing that stood defensively that stood out to me is just that once again, and it's been a problem all season, but especially when you get some of those younger guys down there, they just got washed down on the edges too many times in that ball game. Guys with their eyes not in the right place, guys trying to be in a gap they're not supposed to be in, and then all of a sudden you got the edge is just wide open for long runs from a team. I mean, again, from a team like TCU that it's not supposed to be running the ball against you, but somehow the Wildcats have got to be better at holding that edge than what we've seen this season. I think that's gonna need to be a point of emphasis this offseason.
Well, that has to be, but I tell you, this week they're not going to run to the edge. They're going to run right at you. It's going to be in your face. Let's go, scataboo, and it's coming right at you. So it's going to be testing your will, to say the least. Testing your will. What are they going to do? Because I think they're just going to try to just run it down our throats and not even worry about anything else, actually telling us where they're going by the formation. I don't think it's going to be anything fancy. I think it's going to be straight. They're going to try to beat us up.
And you are going to be spending. You're heading on the road for a little Thanksgiving, huh?
Yes, I'm heading to Chi-Town, spending with my daughter and her boyfriend and my son and my wife. We're all on our way up there to Phoenix, and we're heading to the Chi-Town. Be a little chilly.
Just a little. I hope you have your jacket.
Yes, I do. I have a jacket that I only use. It's like probably about 6 years old. I've only used it like 3 times.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll look forward to still getting a chance to talk to you on the pregame show coming up on Saturday with our coverage beginning at 9 a.m. Have safe travels, Glenn. Appreciate it, as always.
Right on. Let's beat the Scum Devils. Bear down.
There you go. Glenn Howell, UA football class of 1985. Again, our coverage will begin at 9 a.m. from the U of A Mall. That is coming up on Saturday. Kickoff for the 98th Battle for the Territory and the Cup. Arizona versus Arizona State right here, Wildcats Radio 1290 at 1:30. All right, Adia Barnes is currently talking to the media. We will see if we can get you a little bit of this on the other side after the ladies fell in their game today on the road at the Acrisure Classic. There's a lot of names.
You could just say tournament.
Acrisure, there you go. There's a lot of names over there with the Acrisure event that's going on with 21 teams playing over 4 days of college basketball out there in the desert. We'll hear from the head coach of the Arizona women's basketball team, put a wrap on this as well. It is a DK on the Sports Tip, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Riley Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have a crash report at Oracle and Suffolk Drive. This one causing a lot of slowdown on Oracle right now as you approach that intersection. And reminder, 6th Street between Stone Avenue and Church Avenue is closed to all travel till spring of 2025. Eastbound 6, you can get around that closure by using either Granada or Church Avenue. For your weather, we're currently at about 75, getting ready to go and hit in the 60s here once we get to 7. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Ready Whip. This is the sound of holiday happiness. Yeah, Ready Whip. Fun to use, fun to eat. You're not ready for the holidays without Ready Whip.
Did you miss the big game? We got you covered.
Handoff will go to Hubbard in the end zone, and he's tackled for the safety.
Brent Brennan in the middle of it, jumping around. You know, wins are hard to get, and you got to celebrate them when you get them. I love this. Yeah. If the coaches ain't excited about what's going on and can't get up for the game, then they shouldn't be over there.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's November and the weather is cooling down. Now is the time to have your furnace serviced to ensure that it's operating safe and efficient. We also have a $79 garbage disposal service. And check out our monthly plumbing specials on our website. Call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing for all your plumbing and heating needs at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
All the Who's down in Husan like great deals a lot. But the Grinch, who lived on top of Mount Dimon, did not. But he went to O'Reilly for the holidays to trade in his sleigh, and the price he got from his trade grew 5 times that day. This holiday season, come to the dealership even a Grinch can love. We're on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check us out at O'Reilly.com. Because at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we prefer that you visit us live. See us this holiday season, and together, let's drive.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This week, the Cats take on Arizona State. Kickoff is scheduled for 1:30 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
So, you have approval to order more.
Oh, it's just me, guys. Why are you dressed like that? It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations. Since when are polar bears so short?
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year? Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome. I thought Wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaska vacations.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Zach Gelba, the Sports Minute, sponsored by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. The next installment of the college football playoff rankings come out later tonight, and I think Oregon, Texas, Miami, and Boise State will receive byes. Then for the first-round matchups, I believe the committee will have Ohio State hosting Arizona State, SMU visiting Penn State, Notre Dame welcoming in the Hoosiers of Indiana, and then Tennessee making the trip to play the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm Zach Gelb.
Arizona football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws an awesome block so his teammate can score instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Everyone knows the most exciting part of football is the score. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Place a first touchdown scorer wager today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Go ahead and just make me hot over here, J-Dub. I'll play a little bit of this Adia Barnes on my side here. Wildcat women lose 71-60 in their game today at the Aquashirt tournament over in Palm Springs. They lose to Vanderbilt. Let's see if we can get a few of the comments from the head coach after the game. Let me make sure that I've got this set up correctly here. Are we hearing anything on there? No? Okay, let's see if we can maybe go forward on this a little bit here.
Okay. So you guys are doing better than me. Hard time breaking the press. A lot of zone press or like not a strong start.
Down at how you felt things went today for you guys.
I think really like not a strong start. I think that their press really affected us. They went to a zone press early and we really had a hard time breaking the press. A lot of turnovers. It really took us out of our offense and it bothered us. But then I think we had a total shift after halftime. I thought third and fourth quarter much better. And we handled the press so much better. We're more tired. So I think a learning lesson for us as a young team is, you got to attack things and attack smart. And we got layups. Because I said, we're more tired. We should not attack it better and play harder and get more 50-50 balls. That's how we have to start the game.
And speaking of that, Jada really in that second half really came on. Just talk about how important she was to the comeback attempt and closing that lead to 1 point.
I mean, she's really important because she's tough. She played like 39 minutes. Super tough. She fights. She dives for balls. She attacks. And credit to her because she had the ball a lot and she was handling the pressure a lot and the ball was in her hand a lot. And I felt bad and we couldn't really help her out. And she just was dying, but she's just mentally tough. She's the toughest kid we have. And she has a big heart and she just fought. And so I'm proud of her. We just needed a little bit more, a little bit earlier. But we have to learn from that. We continue to talk about the same things. We talk about turnover. I think we're ready to go, right?
Yeah, we're all set.
We talk about turnovers and we talk about missed box outs. And they had I think they had 29 points off our turnovers and they had 17 points off second chance. So that's the game. So we have to be able to address the turnovers. And we had 10 in the second half. We were better and against the press the whole time. But we have to grow in that area.
And now, how do you think? I know tomorrow's a quick turnaround, but when you come back, how do you think that you're going to kind of get through to them that they have to start the game with intensity and play like that for the for most of the game and not wait till the second half, right? Because this is a continuous thing. How do we break that? How do you say we're going to break this habit?
I have to show them because, I don't know what the shift is. They can't take me at halftime pointing out certain things. So I point them out at the beginning of the games. So I think that them seeing on film, watching how we start, and then seeing the shift in mentality and the toughness in the second half, they have to see the evidence of that on film and learn from it. I always say we're young, but we have to grow up fast and we have to learn from our mistakes. So remember, the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over. So I have to find different ways of getting to them, making them realize that, or changing some things to do it. So we're trying to figure that out. I think, we need toughness. We are lacking some toughness right now. And some of that you can't teach. I think that, we are who we are as people, but I think we have to fight a little bit more, be a little bit more reactive and want it. But I saw it in some people today. I saw Jaw played harder in this third quarter than I've seen in a long time. So you can live with mistakes as a coach when you're playing hard. So I pointed that out. I thought Jaw gave us energy. But I want that from Jaw all the time. I want that in practice. I want that all the time. And that's what the level of expectation. And I think bringing Monte along, getting her a little more experience. And we talked about her being out for a long time. She is a freshman again. But tonight she looked like a freshman and was timid. So I have to teach her. These are the things you have to work on to get better at that. So a lot of teaching moments. And unfortunately, with our personnel and our team and our youth, we're going to have some of these moments that we have to work through. But they're growing up fast. I think Jada really showed a lot of leadership today and fought.
Yeah, before that, she sort of, you tightened up on your defense and everything. She was getting on her teammates like much earlier in the game. You could tell that she was doing that. So she had that fight throughout the whole game in some way.
Yeah, but she even fought hard in the third quarter. You could see a couple times she got the offensive rebound over three bigs. But as a team, we need that from the get-go in games. I don't know why we don't have that. I don't know what's missing. I don't know what's shifting, but we have to find a way to get that.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats women's basketball team, Adia Barnes, after a 71-60 loss at the Acrisure tournament in Palm Springs to Vanderbilt. Arizona will play California, the Golden Bears, tomorrow, noon start time, 11:45. You can listen to the game on Freedom 1400 KTUC. All right, let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay for today.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Territorial Cup Game Series memories with one Lamont Hunley.
That particular game was my senior year. Okay, and out of that game, it actually was Byron Evans. Byron, he blocked the field goal, and they was going in to get the field goal, and Byron put his hand up and he blocked that field goal, and Max came in and kicked the field goal for us and stuff. So I mean, but again, it was something defense that create the impact of I shouldn't say the impact, but the end result of the game, and that would have been it right there as far as doing something impactful like that and blocking that field goal to allow us to get the ball and score and stuff. So, and then like you said earlier, you brought up and even not on defense but offense, I still could see Brian Hollins running down that field. I mean, I can see this Brian Hollins, but then after Brian ran down the field, Brett Anderson ran down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then, but to top it off, David, to watch these ASU fans come down with the roses in their mouths, and then all of a sudden these roses are dropped to the ground because we took that opportunity from them to go to the Rose Bowl. Because if they would have won that game, they would have been in the Rose Bowl. So now let's reflect back to this year. We still got these kids have that same type of opportunity to spoil ASU opportunity to go to the Big 12, because if they win, I think they got that opportunity to play in that championship game.
Yeah,
they
control their own destiny.
And take it from them, right? Why not use that and take that away from them? I think I saw an article in the paper that Brennan said that that's not the, he don't want to use that as MO. BS. Use it. Use it.
Right.
Because think about this, man. We don't have Pac-12 no more.
Mm-mm.
That's the only thing that you got connected to the Pac-12 is Pac-12, Pac-10, or whatever you want to call it, whatever that conference was at one point in time. The only connection we got is us and ASU. And this game right here is still part of that history. Mm-hmm. So why not take it away from them going that way and use it as ammunition? I'm sorry. Use it as ammunition to get these guys fired up to, take that opportunity away from them. Hey, but Dave, did you say this the 98th?
98th Territorial Cup game, yes.
Now, here's me being selfish.
Okay.
They need to go out there and win this 98th game because that's my jersey
There
number.
you go. There you go. Number 98, Lamont Hundley, Territorial Cup
That's
game
right.
98. You got to win that one for sure. Hey, Lamont, look
Bring
forward
it home for me.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Always great to chat with our guy, Lamont Hundley. All right, we are going to be in basketball mode the next 3 days. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona game day tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Wildcats at the Battle for Atlantis. We will though continue to talk Territorial Cup throughout all of that as well, and look forward to the opportunity as well to talk to you. We'll still take your memories. Thanks to Lamont Hundley for joining us, along with Glenn Howe and Lena Washington for JW Madden, for Dragon Ball. My name is David Kelly. That is our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you again tomorrow for the pregame show at 2 o'clock. Join us then. But for now, it's DK on the Sports Tip, and you are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have a crash report at Oracle and Suffolk Drive. This one causing a lot of slowdown on Oracle right now as you approach that intersection. And reminder, 6th Street between Stone Avenue and Church Avenue is closed to all travel till spring of 2025. Eastbound 6, you can get around that closure by using either Granada or Church Avenue. For your weather, we're currently at about 75, getting ready to go in the 60s here once we get to 7. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Black Friday is back at Lowe's with up to 50% off select major appliances, plus an extra 10% off on select major appliances like Whirlpool. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
When you donate a toy,
We will donate a toy. It's our annual gift back to our community.
we're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate, we'll donate another. For every dollar you donate, we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again. Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys, putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun, but we're serious about helping kids. So serious, we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for every one you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar. Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
Attention Tucson! We bring you every minute of Arizona men's basketball, both home and away, all season long. We are the home of the Arizona Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat fans, are you ready for the 98th Annual Territorial Cup between your Arizona Wildcats and that school up north? Bring all the energy you have to Arizona Stadium on Saturday, November 30th, as your Wildcats wrap up their home season. Go to ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets or call the ticket office at 520-621-2287 to secure your seat today. Bear down and go Cats!
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wish Black Friday deals lasted longer? Good news! At Oro Ford, Black Friday deals last all month long. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Expeditions, Ford Edges, and Ford F-150s. And Oro Ford's the only Ford dealer with zero city sales tax and no dealer add-ons. Stuff your plate with savings all November long at Oro Ford's Black Friday sale. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry.
What is that night like for you as world champion?
I remember getting in my hotel. I'm looking at the chair with the title on it, and I remember crying. I couldn't believe it.